I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up? Gonna haul him up, back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. Gonna haul him up, back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob.
You said it.
I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob.
I wish I had that ready, but I don't have an oh my already.
I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast. I'll tell them, oh, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them.
He'll eat somebody, though.
Skin them and chop
He'll
them
do
up.
it.
You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat
He said it. He said it.
That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
All right. That was amazing. Oh, cheese and rice. Okay, let me get to the next one. Hold on. Oh, God, this is so fucking funny. Okay, here we go with the next one. Oh. God damn, next. Here we blow, everybody, for your amusement. So this is Steven Crowder in the video right now. Clips of him. Jeez. And you'll find out soon, if you don't know who he is, how weird this dude is. Okay. That's pretty much all we need to see of that. It's the same thing for another way too fucking long. But anyways, let's slowly get into the insanity we have planned. We will bring in our first guest, and that includes...
Clever girl.
Our clever girl. Hello, Micro.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Good.
You?
I'm glad to hear. I'm well. It's going to be very tough to get through what we're going to go through. I may have to post a link to have people buy me shots, because this is going to be difficult to get through for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring in our next guest. And
some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
No.
that's our brain.
No. He's not right. I never talk. I hardly ever talk. When do you hear me talk? I don't ever talk.
You never talk yet, exactly.
Hey, motherfuckers! How was everybody?
Good. And our last guest for right now, I need to actually get your intro, Vila, to actually work. So I'm not trying to find it every time. So, anyways, welcome. I will have that in the near future, or have a new one for you. So, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
All right.
Oh, a bit of pain, but I'll do. I'll do.
All right. Well, let's see. The side chat, we have the J Troy. We have a Super Ghost, and they say they do not consent. And then we have the Carl and the Jasper. So if there's anybody else lurking,
Later.
let us know, and we will say hello to you and show you some love. Thank you all for being here. The Queen has a migraine again, so she will not be here. She will be trying to see a doctor very soon about trying to get on a new medications to get her to not be going through as many migraines. So, yeah.
That would be
They
nice.
need to get their acting gear and help her, man.
Yeah, and that as well. So once we figure out where all the other fun stuff in the background that we need to figure out, then that will help a lot. So anyways, that's one of the things. If you want to help with thingy mabobbers, I have shots of Vodamica, $5 at the PayPal link above. I do a swig, and from what I've heard, it gets more interesting the more drunk you all get me. That's what I've been told. So, getting into what we need to get into, because we still, the stream that we're going to be sniping or watching is actually an hour and 30 minutes, but we're only going to watch from the beginning when he brings on Alex Jones, because that's what we're interested in, hearing Alex Jones being interviewed by Steven Crowder. If there's anybody in the side chat or anybody on the panel who doesn't know who Steven Crowder is, he's a Canadian talk show host that is very, very right wing. He should be wearing his gun holster in this, and if he's not, there is a gun on the table. And yeah, he's very pro Second Amendment for some reason, but he's Canadian. So it's very odd that he's so pro-America. It is, but you know why he is? Because he's getting paid by a bunch of billionaires to make this content for the right wing, for the evangelicals, and for people who are ignorant, racist, fascists. They do not want people to have any kind of choice over their body. They want to control everything that everybody else does while not being controlled themselves. And you'll figure that out very, very quickly as soon as we get into this, because the opening is, I'm just going to skip to this part, and he's talking about how the banks and social media are somehow being controlled by the government. The government somehow controls the banks and controls social media somehow, which the banks kind of... Yeah, but I mean, the banks run themselves, like whatever. But yes, so we're gonna get into that just as the beginning. You'll find out very soon that this gentleman is bonkers. What? And when you see, he's one of the kings of the incels as well. So really quick, I just want to show he's got this neon thing in the background, like you'd have at a baseball game or in a man cave. The lighting is made this weird way. It's lit a very weird way. He is, to the best of my knowledge, wearing his gun holsters. He's, of course, got facial hair. He looks like a douche nozzle, bro.
Come on, who has neon lights in their backgrounds?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That neon sign isn't, doesn't seem to be an official neon sign. But to me, I've seen, because I've looked at a lot of these online, right? The neon signs, the ones that are powered by that weird gas thing. This is just LED lights on acrylic.
Yeah, no, that's most likely what it is, because what you're able to do with those is turn them down and turn them
yeah.
back up. And so when you're doing,
Yeah,
so most
you can
likely
see that
it is.
because it's not shining on the background.
Yeah, yeah.
If
And
it
then
was
really,
neon, it would be shining on the background.
yeah, there would be a lot more, and there's more depth into the color too, as well, that shows that there's more than just a regular neon. So of course, yeah, and it's totally custom, Super Ghost. It for sure is. It had to have been,
yeah.
because it says Louder with Crowder, and that's his show.
Like I've looked at eBay, something like that is actually only £100 to £200. Like they're not that expensive. It's not the big flex he's trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, and then one more time, I want to say, I have two more things that I want to bring up, and I'm going to make it full screen right quick just for this. Okay, he has an American flag in the background. He's Canadian. His shirt has the state of Texas with a greater than symbol than the state of Florida. Why are you so invested in the Americas?
Is that true, size-wise?
No, but what they're trying to say is that Texas is better than Florida.
Then put a better than sign, not bigger than.
No, isn't that? Did I say it wrong?
Well, no, but like that's what he's implying. But if you get real literal, his
well, no, that sign is Texas is greater than Florida.
Yeah.
Greater than is.
Oh yeah.
The symbol stands for greater than.
Yeah.
I'm just
this is interesting.
Non-English speaker.
Yeah, no, totally, and that's what we're here to like correct or talk it over and talk it out, and so
different perspectives are always interesting.
Yeah, Squirrel says I had booze, but the 17-year locust wiped it all out. All right, well, interesting.
I mean, to be fair, is that not what your teenage children are meant to do? Next time, though, you're meant to like slowly steal it away bit by bit and pretend like that the vodka getting weaker and weaker is just natural.
Well, see, yes.
Do you usually refer to your children as locust?
Yeah. The thing that I duped myself into was most of my parents didn't drink. Even my stepdad. Hi, Mama. And I kept stealing stuff and adding water to it. And when I turned 21, they're like, have whatever you want in the liquor cabinet. So I went in and I started drinking and everything was just watered down. I'm like, fuck. I just did this to myself. Mama, I sent you a link, I believe, if you want to join us. If not, we totally understand. If I didn't, you can let us know and we'll send you one. Okay. So let's listen to what this douche nozzle has to say about. And then one more time, I want to bring up there's a gun just sitting on his fucking table. I mean, like, how much more of a douche nozzle can you be than this idiot? And he's wearing these huge headphones like he is a sports commentator. He has it set up like he's a sports commentator, is what he wants it to look like.
Like he's in the league boss.
He's LARPing. Yeah.
He's LARPing. Yeah, he's giving the appearance of Yeah.
Okay. So, and then he always has this pen in his hand too. So, anyways, let's start blowing on with this douche nozzle. And Steven Crowder, I will call you whatever the fuck I want during the stream, and you go ahead and try to sue me if you would like.
Too late, so we moved it to the morning. It's basically a late night show. Okay, we compete with all of them. If someone were to say, well, if you don't like all these late night shows, go create your own. Only all the late night shows had $2 trillion from the government. And those late night shows, because they were being funded, subsidized, or insured by the government, you, the taxpayer, could also dictate the terms, the community guidelines on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Go create your own platform. You can't.
You can.
I'm using that as an example. You cannot compete against a business that has a never-ending supply of federal funding. Hope you love Vanguard. Hope you love BlackRock because you're socialist light. Powwow.
What was that, Brainless?
He says you can't start your own platform that's not managed by them. But what the fuck is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying what I'm doing is impossible.
You can start your own
Yeah, but that
TV
he's saying-
show, or you can start your own late night show, public access TV. You can start your own social media platform.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you mean is you cannot do it profitably.
Yes.
You cannot do it to make it as profitable, and you cannot make it as popular as these big name brand ones that already exist, because the boom of these things has happened, right?
Yeah.
What he means is money, money, money.
Yeah,
Give me
exactly.
money.
Yeah. And one other thing I want to say before we keep going on to this is his father is the one who gave him the money to start this show, and his father is the director of this show and the writer. So he literally just says what a 70, 80-year-old dude who's very right-wing tells his son to say, because he's a failed actor.
You want to make
What?
daddy proud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's why he
exactly.
takes it up the ass.
But just imagine your father's standing there like judging you the whole time while you're doing this. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's different ways to do it on different platforms. There's all these platforms. You can do it on Facedidma Books. You can do it on Vimeo. Sorry, here, Twitch. I mean, there are, and you could, but he's trying to prime us to getting mad and thinking that we can't because of who he's bringing on. You know, he's trying to say like, oh, you can't be a billionaire unless blah, blah, blah. Because he's going to be talking to a billionaire who is losing $1 billion because he got sued, and he will be getting sued in Texas by 17 other people in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So,
like, it doesn't.
Chow brought Elizabeth Warren also.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
there.
So it doesn't make sense, the thing he's trying to say and the people he's trying to blame. We know that, like you say, he's trying to prime us.
Yeah.
But they don't get the sort of funding he's talking about, and they don't get to make the terms and conditions, because Google bought YouTube. Google made YouTube the big deal it is. If it wasn't for Susan Wojcicki getting Google to buy it at the beginning, then YouTube wouldn't have gone as big as it was.
Yeah.
Google, the multi-billion company, who don't give a shit about the other things he's mentioned because they're their own goddamn nation, basically. They're not going to care about PBS or fucking, I don't know, Channel 1.
Sure.
All this shit.
Sure.
Because all Google has to do is, if the news channels, the this, the that, don't play the game they want, can just have a few negative things turn up first on search engines. Google are the one that control the world at the moment, because they can control the narrative that goes out to the world.
Yeah, they can.
Google!
You're trying to say that YouTube is kowtowing to these other people when they're their own goddamn fucking army.
Yeah.
No, just it doesn't make sense. Yes, they're probably working together. Yes, they're lining each other's pockets. Tra-la-la, happy fucking days. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
No, and the major thing that Alex Jones has been doing is they've been getting everybody to go to their merchandise website. You like immediately are barraged with trying to go and getting sold to penis powder or like protein powders or Viagra pills, and that's how they're making their money.
You want a gun? You must have a problem with your muscles, and you must have a problem with your dick, because how could you be wanting guns? Hoorah!
That's how he's making his money. It's not through him doing a show. It is through his website, and Mama was saying that earlier. It's through his website and then his merch websites as well. He's not doing it through the YouTube exactly. He's doing it through his own personal thing. So Steven Crowder, you're saying something that's not even true for the person you're about ready to bring on. You're just trying to use a scapegoat and try to prime us into thinking, oh, you couldn't do it by yourself. You've got to be a billionaire. Otherwise, how does it make sense? Like, what? That doesn't make sense either. You know how many people do their own shows and are like not getting paid very much? Obviously, this is one right now. So anyways, let's keep blowing on.
I wanted to deem them too big to fail. Looking out for you? Anyone who says any company is too big to fail is not looking out for you. These too big to fail companies, what that really means is the government gets to tell them what to do. And then they get to remove you. So you can't bank, you can't speak. And hey, if everyone got pushed onto PayPal or some form of standardized digital currency, you also can't purchase firearms or ammunition. It's not illegal. The government's not making it. They're not infringing on your rights. You just can't do it.
The government can't tell private companies what to do in those ways. It's not the government that's controlling the social medias to say that there shouldn't be fascists on their channel and or they're not going to promote something like selling guns on their platform. That's because they're a private company.
I think the biggest thing is with not selling guns is like it is if you're promoting guns, like there's very weak-minded people out there, so they'll take it the wrong way. And like if you would be selling it through social media, like checking who you're selling to is really hard. Like you could be selling to a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
there are ways that it's done online. I don't know that well.
Sure.
Private sales online, things like that. I think there's like a system that you input information in, things like that.
Yeah,
it isn't that easy. You have to have their ID. You have to do background checks. There are regulations and things.
But
once again,
stuff that's
not the
supposed
point
to be
that he was
social.
making.
But once again, what we're speaking about just right quick is he is pretending that private companies are being controlled by the government, and yes, they partially are. They have to stick within certain rules, right? You can't have a beef farm and just willy-nilly like cut open things and just pull things out and just sell every body part not refrigerated things, right? So yes, there is regulation side of it, but the government is not telling these companies to kick off Alex Jones or anybody else like that.
Like the actual point he was making, saying, if the government or whatever, like companies start pushing us towards using PayPal, right? Some of these things have terms and conditions. So like PayPal, I think they have something in it to do with like Nazi propaganda, paraphernalia, that sort of shit. I can't remember properly. That you can't use them to purchase it. They will not be involved in those things.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he means. If they add buying guns to it, then suddenly your Second Amendment right is gone. The government haven't got rid of your ability to buy guns, but the payment system has. But that doesn't make sense because there are other options. There are always other options, and you're worried about a digit like us paying digitally. How do you get paid from fucking YouTube? How do you get paid by your Patreons? How do you get paid for your fucking sales? Digital money.
Yeah, that's what's
ridiculous but like
about.
He's saying like they're I kind of get it. Like they're like over here. Cash? I hardly have cash ever. Like they're pushing away from that, and like then they can say like, but it's a company and the banks that are preventing you from buying it.
What prostitutes are you going to that are using Venmo or using PayPal?
No, but like
it's Cash App. It's Cash App. Okay. They have a credit card machine in their ass. You just swipe their ass and. Anyways, let's keep blowing on because we still have like a gazillion years to go and we haven't even gotten to Alex Jones yet.
There are always options
because these companies
for the shit. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course
there are options, but the options are getting harder because like they're trying to get rid of all the money that people did not pay tax for. That's gonna get harder. Like if I do something off the books, I get cash. If you do that on your bank account, it's traceable. You know, that's what they're trying to get rid of. And I get that. And a lot of people hate that because a lot of people
Yeah, when I'm trying to buy that Nazi porn, I don't want a paper trail. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's keep going.
When you say so. Well, hold on a second. Well, those companies wouldn't be in business because half the country wouldn't support them. Well, it doesn't matter if you want to support them or not. Your tax dollars do. It absolutely is a First Amendment issue. It absolutely is. This is not an issue of private businesses. So you can talk about Alex Jones all you want, but you want to talk about Kanye West? Do you want to talk about Dr. Peter McCullough? Do you want to talk about all of the shows that have been removed here online because of a few key companies who, by the way, receive favorable treatment from the government? Let's try and take the blinders off and not just see this through the lens of I disagree with what so-and-so or whomever said. Because the left is very good at creating a mob. Right? They all fall under one umbrella, and they'll make sure that they target you.
We all fall
and because
under
you're free
one
thinkers on the right,
umbrella.
it's hard. The term has been used as like herding cats. Let's not herd cats with this one. Whether you're a libertarian and all you care about is Bitcoin and weed, or you're, by God, Mitch McConnell's fan. Anyone out there? Let's make sure that we are unified in this. No one needs to pass a purity test of agreeing with everything that we agree with for us to just say, hey, they have the right to say it. They have the right to say it. They have the right to engage in commerce. Doesn't mean that they have to be your local senator. Can we all unify under that?
Except for when violence becomes of something that you said, or there are people that go out and do things because you lead them to do them, right? Isn't that like part of the illegal part of it is...
you're allowed to say whatever you want, but you're not allowed to promote violence, I believe.
And or get people to incite it, or to, because of something you said, get people to incite violence. Like, that's why it pisses me off so much.
I think that's a great area. Like, if you say like, oh yeah, I hate that person, and somebody is like, oh yeah, but I love you and I will kill them for you. That is like, that's something that's, I believe, is out of your control. Like,
well, let's
you
just
cannot be blamed for whatever everybody does.
No, of course not.
Of course not. Yeah, but if you go like, yeah, oh, I wish one of you would kill them, and he gets killed, then you're in shit.
You could, yeah. And then once again, the TOS is what these services get run by, right? If you violate the TOS, you get kicked off the platform. It's fucking easy to understand that shit.
Can we all unify? This is a test today. Can we all unify under the fact that this is egregious, what's happening with Alex Jones? Can we all do that?
No.
I'll tell you, I see a lot of silver linings. But if I don't see that today, I'm going to be disappointed in all of us. We should be able to do that. Do we have him? I believe we have him. All right. We now are going to go to, I believe we have him on the line. And if you can hear me, Alex, we also have Mug Club Extended, so please don't get me removed from YouTube. It's time for Alex Jones.
Oh, she's in a right.
Mr. Jones. Oh, okay, I see that smirk. What were you saying? Was that a dirty joke?
No, I said I'm really jealous of that shirt. I'm going to rip it off, make my own copy.
Well, I can say no. Come on now. Well, then I want you to pay me.
That is the coolest shirt. That is the coolest shirt I've seen yet. Absolutely. But what you're talking about is absolutely true. And I'd love to give everybody the inside baseball, what really happened with the case, how it's a precedent setter, and where it's going. Because
Alex, hold on just 1 second, Alex, because I want to give you the floor, okay? And what's the best place? Because I know you have several sites. Is it Infowars.com still the best place for people to go?
Yeah, so they want to actually hear what we're saying and not edited clips or twisted derivatives, and they want to hear what the establishment is so scared of. Infowars.com, okay. Infowars.com/show.
So douche nozzle, bitch, cunt, whistle at the beginning of this says, you can't start your own show. You can't start your own shit. No, that's what Infowars is, honey. He started his own shit and does his own shows on there. They only put it on different platforms to get it out to more people, but he runs his own shit. Everything you just said was bullshit.
You gotta speed it up, right?
What?
You gotta speed it up, right?
I haven't speeded up one time, yes.
Alex just sounds like he's talking normally now. He doesn't sound like he's talking fast. I was like, hey, the other dude sounds so fast and he sounds normal. Like, is he talking that slow?
Yeah, that's pretty
But like,
funny.
hey,
I
of
didn't
course,
notice
otherwise
that.
his audience cannot understand what he's saying.
Yeah. I am up in the air about the Lincoln Project, but yes, we do need more people that are showing the idiocracy of these extremists, and that's what we go over is the extremists in every different aspect. So, I totally need another beer, so I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to be right back. And so we'll stop it as soon as I get back, and then speak about whatever we would like. He's going to go on a rant for about a hot second, so don't worry about it. Hey, Aaron Massa.
Hey, Aaron.
What's the net worth of InfoWars? That I don't know, but I do know a couple specifics that for a while they were making $350,000 a day just selling merch.
Damn.
So imagine that happened for, let's just say, a month straight, right? Even though I think it was like a year almost or some crazy shit like that. Right after Biden got in, I think is when that began happening. It would be worth insane amounts, and he's got like 5 mansions. He probably a couple million at the least.
And banned.video, and they see us like a Roman standard.
Right.
They want to capture and pull down and get control of. I am the Democrat deep state new
Hold on,
world
Alex, because
shoe toy.
I want to give
I'm
you
their shoe toy.
I know I want to give you the floor, but I think it's really important to set this up. And believe me, I'm going to let you run. You know me well enough. I'm going to let you run with this. But I want to set up something. For example, when I had Brian Callen on the show, one time, he was falsely accused of sexual assault. I spoke with Brian. And I said, look, I'm going to lead this interview with, did you do it? And he said, no, off air. I said, Brian, you're going to say that on air, and I don't care what your lawyers tell you. If you didn't do it,
trial.
right. And so I want to lead this right now because I think this is pivotal. And we've done several multi-hour long shows, but for some reason this gets lost. And I want you to correct me if I have this wrong.
At least I cannot understand what you're saying.
2017, as an example, because the narrative is Sandy Hook, you tormented the parents, you called them out by name, and you continually harassed them. From what I understand, and I have some quotes here in front of me, and I want you to tell me if I'm misquoting you, you admitted you were wrong and you apologized. And I think that's key because I still want to go after you anyway. So 2017, you talked about an epiphany you had on Father's Day. You said, forgive me, on Father's Day, I want to reach out to the parents of the slain children at the horrible tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut, and give you my sincere condolences. You said that, right?
Yes.
Okay. You also said I'd also like to reach out to any of the parents who lost a child at Newtown to invite them to contact me to open a dialogue, because I think it's really essential we do that instead of letting the mainstream media misrepresent things and really try and drive this nation.
So I just looked it up. He was worth $135 to $270 million net worth pre-trial.
Oh.
With an average of about 53.2 million in annual revenue.
Holy motherfucker.
Yes, and we know he's hiding crap tons of assets as well. He began hiding assets as soon as he found out he was going to trial. So, yeah. This douche nozzle, Alex Jones, paid. I'm going to just say, I think, for once or 2 times a day or something like that, to have a helicopter fly over his ex-wife's house or current wife's house for like a month straight, trying to scare them. And so the kids were scared the whole time. So yeah, like that was not great. So anyways, let's keep going on with that. This
apart. You said that, right?
Before they sued me.
Yes, before they sued you. And then in 2019 in a deposition you said, and I myself have almost like a form of psychosis in the past where I basically thought everything was staged, even though I've now learned a lot of times things aren't staged. And I'm not saying this to embarrass you, Alex. I'm saying it because you were clear in that you had a change of heart, or you believed that you were wrong, or you believed you made a mistake, which I think is admirable. And I think the fact that they want to browbeat you after that is what is so scary. And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
He did
You
take
also
out
said, so
like
I think
that
as a
much
pundit,
a few
someone
days
giving an
before
opinion
the trial.
that, my opinions have been wrong, but they were never wrong consciously to hurt people. So do I have this right in saying multiple times you said you were wrong, and you apologized in one fashion or another. And by the way, both before and after being sued. Would that be a correct statement for me to make, Alex?
I said I believe Sandy Hook happened in 2016.
Right.
I said it in 2015. And this is important. It's a lot bigger than Alex Jones. It's the anatomy of the left. It's like with George Floyd or something, taking something and then blowing it up to be the biggest thing on earth. It's like you can take a microscope and zoom in on a grain of sand, and it looks like the Himalayan mountains, but it's not really. So
right.
Here's what really happened.
Yes.
Here's what really happened. I could give you the latest information where they're going with it. This is going to affect everybody, and thank you, sir.
Except that's not what happened. You made it so people had horrible times living their lives, being the parents of kids that were murdered, and you made lots of money off of it. And we're running around still telling a bunch of weird, crazy lies during that. During the trial, you were doing it. You were doing it right out in front of the courthouse. You were like being a horrible person throughout this whole thing. The left has nothing to do with it. You know how many people probably are Republican that are involved in this? Politics has nothing to do with it, you twat whistle. It's what you're saying about people. And it said, Mama is saying between the two recent defamation trials, he has to pay over $1 billion in damages. And the third trial is pending. That's right. Yeah, the one in Texas is in a couple weeks, I think. So anyways, let's blow on.
Okay, Sandy Hook happens. It's a huge political event. Obama has it with the White House. It's going on. I think maybe somebody helped the kid kill these kids. The whole story's bizarre. And then about a year after
think that happened? What?
All these professors and people that sounded credible come out, and school safety experts, and say that they thought it was just completely staged.
Hey, Demon.
And I've seen things like Operation Northwoods that talked about staging attacks on school kids that didn't exist as a pretext for war with Cuba and Russia. So I said, yeah, a lot of stuff's been staged. Maybe this is. So I did 4 or 5 programs from like 2000 and I guess 13, 14, questioning maybe that it was staged. Barely a blip on the radar.
You never
it's a huge
said
internet
questioning
issue.
if it's
Hundreds
staged.
of millions of views on
You
YouTube,
said
other
it
people's
was.
videos. My listeners wanted to know. My crew wanted to cover it. They wanted to talk about it. So what they put in evidence against me was about 24 minutes in Texas, about 25 minutes in Connecticut. In 10 years, this is the big evil stuff. The guy that got rich off Sandy Hook, the guy that wears Sandy Hook underwear, the guy that prays 5 times a day to New Haven, Connecticut. I mean, my mother didn't give birth to me. Sandy Hook did. I mean, my whole life is this, okay?
Right.
But it's not. So Hillary and the Democrats start running this false news campaign during 2016 campaign that I'm Trump's brain. They look at this flamboyant, wild guy. He's a populist. He's got a lot of people supporting Trump. Let's make him a liability. Let's take the worst stuff he said out of context and run tens of millions of TV ads against Trump using Alex Jones saying he's Trump's brain.
And one thing, just to make really clear, is just again for the YouTube gods, you understand how this is, Alex. You were
they'll lie and say I'm saying it didn't happen again.
No, but they'll say that you were saying because you saw this, and there were other people, there were other professors, there were other conspiracy theorists, some of whom turned out to not be credible, and then you didn't have them on your show anymore. You did say maybe this is staged, and just again to be clear, you afterwards said no, it was not staged. I was wrong. You did correct it, right, Alex?
Yes. But it's important to understand this timeline. Yeah. So
then at that point in time, if you really were sorry, what you would have done is you would have like thrown money at all of those families, right? If you were in real repentance, you would have said, "Oh, I made $1 gazillion off of this. Let me throw some money towards you guys. Let me give you $10,000 each or something, right?"
Slim, if you were a good Christian, he wouldn't be this rich.
Of course, no, I know, but using an example in what we're trying to do here is try to fucking. I would love to throw him under the bus for real in Minecraft, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to discredit this fool, and I felt like we had to talk about it. And this is beating 2 horses with 1 stone. Is that the term? No, I'm just kidding. I know I said it wrong. Because I wanted to go over Steven Crowder, and as soon as I was thinking about going over Steven Crowder, guess what happens the morning of that? Alex Jones comes on his show, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. There we go. This is easy. And not to be a dick, but hopefully we get some good clickbait out of it. Hopefully we get a bunch of people who watch, and because of the names that are on here. Some of the times we do things because of the subject, because I know they're kind of popular. But anyways, this is a kind of funny pause game. Steven Crowder looks like he's constipated, and so does Alex Jones. They both look like they're shitting their pants right now. Anyways, let's keep blowing on.
For over a year and a half, from 2015 into 2016, we've checked the record. I never talked about it one time. And I told the crew, this is a tar baby. It's a setup. I don't want to ever discuss it again. I think it happened. We started seeing that some of the folks that were claiming it was staged had gone even crazier, and we're now dysregulating and showing that indeed they had put out things that were wrong. So I was not the Sandy Hook guy. It didn't put me on the map. I barely ever covered it. But Hillary blows it up, makes it a cause celeb for Democrats.
I don't know about that, homie.
They use it to bring back all the gun control and now attacks on free speech and to attack Trump. And so then Trump wins. They go even crazier. And they start attacking me, saying he's sitting.
What part did anybody do about any kind of gun control at all, ever, for any of those motherfucking school shootings? Nothing. The only time there's been anything that has happened about gun control was a gazillion years ago when fucking Biden in 2011 or 10 or something made a certain assault rifles illegal for like 20 years or for a certain amount of time. And then that went away and nobody updated it or made it the law again. So then they came back in. And guess what happened right after that? A motherfucking rise in fucking mass shootings. Duh. I mean, the evidence is right there in front of our faces. And every time they talk about gun control, nobody is trying to actually control your guns other than make it just safer regulations.
He's talking about this shit, yet he's the one that openly mocked that young, amazingly eloquent teenage girl who was doing all the news interviews after her school got shot up.
Yeah.
Remember the one that was had her shaved hair, her head shaved?
Yes.
He was openly mocking her.
Yeah.
And he's acting like he's the saint in this sort of thing. He's done nothing to help.
He was mocking a survivor?
Yeah, he was mocking a young teenage girl who was a survivor of a school shooting. The children, lots of those teenagers that were at that school started protesting and doing more than most adults fucking do. As teenagers that have just gone through something so traumatic.
Yeah.
Fucking strong as hell they are.
Of course. Yeah.
How was he mocking them?
Lying. He did lots of videos on it. He didn't barely cover it.
Yeah, no, he covered the crap out of it. He did.
Sandy Hook guy.
Yeah, exactly. He did. So how he mocked them was saying they're crisis actors. They're bad at acting. They're only doing this to take away all of your guns. And which, again, nothing changed about gun laws after all this shit. But your punk ass kept going on day in and day out and talking about how they are crisis actors doing this thing that supposedly the left is making happen because the satanic pedophiles that eat children want to like save your kids from not getting murdered in school for some reason. What are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. First, they say that we're baby eaters and that we murder children. And then they're like, no, you're trying to save the children by taking away the guns and cheese and rice. And one thing really quick, the Second Amendment law says to hold up arms during with a well put together militia, right? That is not Billy Joe Bob in his fucking shed with all of his guns. That's not a well put together militia. A well put together militia is something that the government or the side part of the government would do, and you would have an organization that would like store the guns in a certain place. And if for some reason the government did become erratic or something, then they could be the ones to go and organize and try to save the government. It's not individual people, and it's not organizations that are not being run with the help or the recognition of the government as a proper militia. The Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, all of them are considered terrorist organizations because they're not trying to work with the government, trying to work against it, and they want to overthrow the government.
Sending people to the kids' houses. He's sending people to the parents' houses. He won't stop saying it didn't happen. And I'm like, I said years ago it happened. Stop it. This is a media event. They're building up. obviously, to come after the First Amendment. So I issued dozens of corrections, dozens of apologies. You just mentioned one of them there. And
How
then they
did
sue
that
me
kill
in
the First
2018.
Amendment?
And then they do all this discovery. We give them all the emails, all the text messages, everything. There's no evidence we made money on Sandy Hook. There's no evidence I premeditatedly got it wrong on purpose. And so both Democrat-connected judges, one of them is supposedly Republican, but she's like George W. Bush, they default me saying I...
Oh, we lost Alex for a second. Alex, can you hear me, brother? This is clearly the globalist.
So-
He's told I'm guilty.
Oh.
The jury's told I'm guilty. I'm not allowed in a 5-week trial in Connecticut to defend myself. The judge actually says, you can't say you're innocent. You can't say you're bankrupt. You can't say you didn't make money off of it. I say it's all true. Then they instruct the jury after 5 weeks of crying parents, not talking about Adam Lanza killing their children, talking about me.
Well, I know that, Alex, but let me ask you a couple of important questions here, because I think these are things that people, and I know you have I believe you have a highlight, or are we going to roll the highlight? The one that, you had something you wanted to show us a clip. But look, I think it's important to note, first off, let me ask you questions. If you could just give me yes or no's on this, and I want to give you the floor again.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever call the parents out by name on air and say that they were their children, like call them out by name on air?
Only Robbie Parker.
Okay. And afterwards,
and I did not say that, that he staged it or it was fake. I said people think this clip was like 30 million views on YouTube or more.
Right.
It was a viral clip. People say this guy looks fake. And so I said, yeah, it does look like acting to me, but he's...
That's exactly what I was going to say really quick, Mama, is you got proved guilty both times. So obviously you're fucking not innocent, you dumb cunt.
You know, under stress, whatever. So they built this mountain out of a molehill.
I have one other
you
question.
have to prove that you fucking kept doing this
They
shit
gave
over
an
and over
FBI
again.
agent who I'd never seen until he sued me, didn't know who he was. He gets up there and cries about me. They gave him $90 million when under federal and state law, you can't sue somebody you've never said their name for defamation or slander. Never said his name, never asked for a retraction until he sued me. Didn't even know who he was till I saw his name on the lawsuit. He gets $90 million.
Well, let me ask you another follow-up.
Oprah Winfrey's handing out, you get a car, you get a car. It's like,
Yes.
you get...
Well, I do have a question that's important here, because people will say, well, the reason you weren't allowed to defend yourself is it was a default judgment. And they say, because you didn't provide the evidence, right, that was requested in discovery. Give me very specifics, not just all. You did provide and hand over a lot of evidence. What did you hand over? Because they did have financials. They did have, certainly in the Texas trial, they did have access to financials. They did have access to certain traffic metrics. When I was watching the trial, they would say, well, actually, they didn't hand over, for example, the Alexa reportings as opposed to the Google Analytics reportings. What kind of evidence, when you were asked to hand over, just give me some examples of what you did hand over. Did you hand over financial documents as it related to the company?
Yes.
Did you hand over documents as it related to, like different traffic and revenue streams to some degree or another?
To an extreme degree, the most ever given over in a civil defamation trial, many lawyers estimate. Stephen, let me be 100% clear.
So what are they saying you didn't provide is my point. Because this is something a lot of people who unfortunately on the right, Alex, this is important. I'm just saying this because people will try and take this out of context. People on the right will say, well, then you should comply during discovery. What in the fuck are they claiming you didn't provide so that you were not allowed to defend yourself?
All right, let me answer that question, and I want to get into people saying, oh, this is just for Alex Jones. In Texas, they claimed that because we did so much discovery, and they would have each person that they were deposing give them more discovery. So they'd say, oh, out of the 200,000 emails you gave us in Texas, in one of the discovery batches you gave us, there was one extra email that wasn't in this batch. Little weird gotcha games. Mm-hmm. And then in Connecticut, the judge kept saying, give me the Google Analytics. Well, we hardly ever even used Google Analytics, hardly ever even looked at it.
Shut the fuck
so
up. Don't lie about that, bro.
Ma'am,
they proved
it's a search box for the back end of Google, and a lot of you have to pay for it. We've never paid for it. We've barely ever used it, but we searched for Google Analytics and found one writer and one other person in the group that had looked at Google Analytics and said, oh, look how much traffic we're getting a few times. So we gave them what we had in our system about Google Analytics. Take Alexa, same thing. They said, give us the Alexa. Well, Stephen, I want you to give me the Google. And then I say, and then you say, okay, what do you want me to search in Google?
Right.
No, sir, give me the Google.
Right.
Give me the Alexa. We know you've got it. So they followed this unfair trade practices thing that not only did I lie about Sandy Hook on purpose, make money as they falsely claim, but that I was making all this money with those lies in unfair trade practice and then demonize me selling my own products. So that's really where we are. And for people out there that say, hey, this is just for Alex Jones, so what? It's the same Republicans 4 years ago when I got deplatformed that said it would never be President Trump or would never be them. They admit, the Democrats admit, they're on PBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNN.
Nobody who makes a crap ton of money off of the interwebs doesn't use Google Analytics. That's bullshit, bro. You can't tell me that nobody in your company didn't use them. And they did prove during the trial that somehow they were using them. I don't remember who was looking at them, but there was somebody on their team who was supposed to be looking at that stuff and was sending graphs and stuff to people throughout the company
He even
at
just
different
admitted
times.
it in his little diatribe. Like, there was someone that showed us the Google Analytics. Yes. So because you personally weren't doing
Involved.
it doesn't mean you weren't using Google Analytics. And like you said, when you have any big media thing, you will utilize whatever analytics possible to see, hey, they liked this. This is good. They didn't like this. We won't do this. Especially where, in this case, ratings mean more than what actually matters. Like, they're not doing it when you're having fun, right? Because for me, I'm going to do what I enjoy. If the numbers don't like it, okay, I enjoy doing it, so But for them, they're doing it for the analytics. They're doing it for the money. So they're going to follow the analytics.
He cannot tell me that they don't look at fucking YouTube analytics to see when people's eyeballs are there or how long they watch or what works and what doesn't. You can't tell me fucking people that are making gazillions of dollars don't do that shit, because even I do that shit.
How else is he going to know what his worth is for brand deals?
Yeah,
for doing anything, for collabs, for this, for that. Like, you're going to look at them.
To see if a product is working and selling, and or there's interest in a product. How many clicks is the toilet extender getting compared to the penis protein, right? You're going to look at that stuff and you're going to say, do we want this person? Should we charge them more, right? If you have an advertiser who's getting 1.5 million clicks or 1 million plus clicks, and somebody else isn't, and their contract was less than that, then you're going to ask for more money from them. You have to look at that shit. And the thing that sucks is all these people watching this, besides, well, probably half the people that watch it are to do it for fun. But I can't believe there's people that are watching this and they're like, yeah, that makes sense, Alex Jones. Why would you use it?
There are people actually believing it. Okay. If you didn't use Google Analytics, what did you use then?
Yeah, because you have to use some kind of thingy-mabobber, and sure, we go through GoDaddy.
Illegal cookies.
Sure, maybe. So we go through GoDaddy for a couple of our websites, and I go through Wix as well for another website or two. They have their own analytic thingy-mabobbers that you can look at as well. And every day you log in to your GoDaddy or whatever, there's a huge chart right in front of your face that says how many people clicked on your things and what they clicked on and how long they stayed there. And if they put something in their basket but didn't buy it and shit. I mean, there's analytics everywhere, and you have to use it.
What I've found with these sorts of scumbags is they're very pedantic.
Yeah.
Right? Like in this case, we don't use Google Analytics. She was saying, give me the Googles. We don't use Googles. I don't use Google, but I use GoDaddy. But I don't use Google. You're asking me for something I don't have. When clearly it's obvious what they mean is we want the analytics.
Yeah, we want the exactly.
I've not got Google Analytics, but you have analytics, and they mean give the analytics. It's all about wordplay. No, totally. I didn't do lots of videos about Sandy Hook. I did podcasts about Sandy Hook.
Semantics, exactly. Because one thing, just because somebody who looks at your Google Analytics and then turns it into their own graph or takes it away that doesn't say Google Analytics anymore and hands you the paper that shows your sales, that still means that it was using Google Analytics. Just because you don't know how you got that stuff does not mean it's not happening, dude. Why would Alex Jones know how they're getting that information exactly? You probably wouldn't. That's why you hire people. So he can claim ignorance because he's like, I don't use the Google Analytics. I don't know the Googles. Yeah, but your fucking corporate, your company does. They definitely fucking use it.
You're slave
celebrating, and they've been doing it for years. Saying once we set the precedent to let government bureaucrats like this FBI agent sue somebody when no one's even ever said their name just because they got heat in public over, say, election fraud. Now they can sue you and get $90 million. And here is the Secretary of State.
Now we're talking about election fraud
in Texas. I've got the article right here in my stack saying Alex Jones unleashed hell. This is a Republican on us during the election. He caused threats to our election officials. I didn't contest the 2020 Texas election. I didn't even cover that. Project Veritas did. I should have covered it more. The point is that I'm now the whipping boy, or the reason America doesn't trust the government, or the reason the American people don't trust the media. And now the Secretary of State of Texas is talking about we may have to go after Alex Jones because he caused threats on election officials. They have no statements. They don't have me saying be violent. I didn't even probably ever even talk about the Texas election other than saying I don't think Beto was as close as he said he was to Ted Cruz. So this is the absolute next level garbage and propaganda. In fact, overhead shot, I want to show people this. Texas Secretary of State, Alex Jones unleashed hell on our election people. That's the Hill. Here's another one. Republican Texas election chief blasts nuts, peddling 2020 conspiracy theories, zooms in on Alex Jones. So just like they're suing everybody that questions election fraud or mail-in ballots, they never even sued me because I wasn't one of the main proponents of questioning the election, like some of the more prominent people were, who really got out there. I did have questions. It's my right to do it. But they're now just circling back going, okay, we just got this verdict. So now we're going to say Alex Jones made people question the election. So now if you slip on a banana peel, or now if your carburetor breaks down, or maybe you get cancer, it's Alex Jones's fault. So they're
most cars
setting
are
the precedent.
injected now, but yes, the point remains.
Well, you know what I mean. That's why it's going to break down. It's an old car. It's an old carburetor.
Exactly. You have the OJ Bronco, not the new one that also breaks down. Hey, did you have a video you wanted to show, or is it us? Because we have trial highlights and we have the verdict being read, but I was told that you had a clip that you wanted to play.
Somehow.
Did
you see that?
I really appreciate you first off having me on, having the courage to defend free speech. Let me actually get this out, and I'm sorry if I'm annoying. There's just so much here, and a lot of the points we haven't gotten to yet that I hope.
No, you're not annoying at all. I just want to make sure that I was told that you had a clip or a video.
Yes, let me describe this clip for you. Let me describe this clip. Okay, there's dozens of these in Texas and Connecticut. We have a compilation reel that's about 30 minutes long of them in front of the juries and at press conferences saying, take Alex Jones out. Never let him rebuild his platform again. And once we take him out, we're going to take out all the...
Yeah, it's because you've destroyed so many people's lives. They're trying to get you out of there because you're influencing people to go cause violence against people because you're a fucking psychopath. And like, that's the main reason why people are trying to get you out.
Right-wing disinformation operatives like Tucker Carlson, and the list goes on and on. So this is the weaponization where they sue you in Democrat jurisdictions, where they default you, claiming that you didn't give them evidence. They tell the jury you're guilty, and then the jury decides.
I'm going to try to break this up just a little bit more, just because like I'm trying to get them to not completely copyright claim me. So for what you just said, we're going to have to go ahead and play this. Citation needed on that motherfucker. Anyways.
That's how guilty after you've been demonized. So that's just what happened.
About the liberal districts that he's being sued in. I don't think that they're liberal districts, honey. I don't think that's how that works.
In Connecticut. So here they are yesterday, just a small clip at the press conference. Chris Maddy, the former federal prosecutor, up there,
I'll look at that in
who
a
had
second,
this kept-controlled jury that was told I was guilty, and then he says, "We don't want money from Alex Jones because I'm in bankruptcy."
Well, Alex, if it's in the clip, we can just watch the clip and let him say it. How long is it? Is it a minute? Is it 2 minutes? Just so I have an idea.
39 seconds.
39 seconds. All right, I want to run this, and then no, you're not annoying at all. This is important, and we're going to spend as much time as we need to. I know you're busy, but.
And before we watch this, I just have to say,
you're stupid. Yeah.
Because what we're gonna see is pretty fucking stupid.
This is important stuff, and I talked about it in the Cold Open Today show.
Well, not what we
when
see,
you're ready,
but
just roll,
explanation of
from
it.
his.
No, we'll roll it from our end then. Go ahead and roll it, guys.
All right.
But we will be at it as long as it takes. And if you're out there right now and you're one of Alex Jones's audience members and you're giving him money, I just want you to know that based on the jury's verdict today, it's not a very good bet. And to go back to what Robbie Parker said, all Alex Jones does is take from you, exploit
welcome.
you, lie to
Hopefully you get to see a bunch of fun stuff through us.
Mistrust.
Thank
and the
you.
only
Hopefully
person
you
that benefits
sub.
in that equation is him. Well, that stops. That's stopping today, thanks to the courage of these families. Thank you very much. Thanks, Senator.
All right, so what he just said there is, we don't want money from Alex Jones. And I want to explain to listeners, we're going to appeal this.
Then they ask for money.
Get overturned.
Then they ask for money. We don't want the.
How else are we going to stop you besides suing you and taking your money? What else could we do? You can't shut their website down, right? Because he's on his own website. They can kick you off all the different platforms, but that's still not going to solve enough. you are ruining people's lives, and you're getting innocent people to get their houses shot up, and for other things to happen to people when they go out in public. There have been some of these people that have had to go anonymous and take down their Facebook pages. Families have had to take down videos of birthday parties, birthday celebrations. And do you think that's fucking fair, homie? Because you're making $100,000 a fucking day?
What I gathered they meant was like, this isn't about money. We don't actually want the money. We're not doing this to get money.
But how do you stop him?
Yeah, the only way we can actually get this to end, to stop this nightmare, is to remove the money, because that's how he's getting away with this.
Bankrupt him.
He has millions upon millions. He has fuck you money. And if he doesn't have fuck you money, then he's just a normal person that doesn't have all the influence and the abilities to do this shit.
Yeah, and or if we can get his views to go away, then hopefully he's not influencing young incels. And that's the major problem we're having in the Americas right now and around the world. But the only reason I say the Americas is because I see it firsthand where we are, and I look at all the stuff that's going on here, and I know it's happening in other places for sure.
It seems especially bad in America.
Yeah, totally. So the reason is because we have people like Steven Crowder on the left and we have Alex Jones on the right. So if we can get these people to get less recognition and not be heard as much and not sputter out their fascist rhetoric and take people's money, because what Steven Crowder was saying earlier is he is sponsored by a person, and that's why they don't have to have commercials on his show, because a rich company gives him enough money to be their sponsor, so he doesn't have to do anything to take your money otherwise, which that's very untrue, because he sells a bunch of merch and he does push a bunch of things like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say because I don't remember if he does push penis pills and things like that, but he obviously probably does.
He was pushing colloidal silver during the pandemic, saying it will cure said pandemic inducing a thing.
Exactly. So,
but the slim, like your pause game, like look at how stupid Alex looks.
I know, it's so great. Oh, it's been great this whole time. I've been laughing internally over it, and then Steven Crowder's face is just fucking amazing as well, even though Alex is way better. So let's keep going on.
Steven Crowder is yelling at Alex Jones for pooping on the bed.
Yeah, there you go. Amber Heard, god damn it. So really quick, I want to say something that I never noticed before, and his background has changed recently, unless I haven't been watching enough of Alex Jones. He has a fucking fake ass fucking black sorry, I said black light neon sign behind him too. Look at that.
Like it's meant to be an eagle.
I think it's the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, it's the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah.
It's
the head. Okay.
Yeah.
I was focusing just on his left shoulder.
Yeah, totally. I totally see
part of a wing and a beak.
Yeah. So really quick before we get further into this, once again, I want to mention something. He does have a piece of paper right here, but Steven Crowder always has a pen in his hand, and you'll notice he never really writes anything. He just holds it there because smart people hold pens, right? That's how that works, right?
No, when women do it, it's penis envy.
Yeah, there we go. Well, he probably has penis envy to anybody else in the world, because I'm betting he is a micro penis. And yes, Steven Crowder, I said that you have a micro penis. Even without any evidence or anything, the way that you all do the same thing to everybody else, I'm going to assume without any type of evidence that you are, well, I have a lot of evidence. You're wearing a fucking gun holster. You're wearing these huge headphones. You have this like fake beard that you can barely grow on your fucking face. Mine grows way too fucking much, and like I wish I didn't have all that hair, but you can barely grow. Look at your little girl hands that you have. He's got girly hands, and to me, I can see that you are very insecure about your life. And does that matter? No, you can be whatever kind of person you want to be, and that's whatever. Just like Alex Jones can look like a gay frog. Look, he looks like a gay frog sitting there right now. So, anyways, let's keep flowing on. How people Alex Jones pays for the supplements he sells, and he supposedly says he takes them for himself, but I don't know if I actually believe that. But I wouldn't be surprised he took his own penis pills, because I can't imagine that gentleman could get it up anymore. But anyways, we'll keep going on. Alex Jones, you have to disprove me for that case. Unless I see a 4K video of you actually getting hard and a newspaper next to you with today's date in your face, I believe you're impotent. Anyways, let's keep going on.
$900 million from Alex Jones, damn it. You can make that payable to cash.
Quiche.
Absolutely. So if I can, I'm shopping the because there's so many angles to this, Stephen. Number one, I don't have $3 million cash in my company and my personal stuff. I have enough to operate.
Well, that's your fault for fucking doing that.
I got a nice house, got decent cars, but I don't worship things. So them trying to take money away from me.
Motherfucker said, "Look, oh my god, look at Steven Crowder's fucking face." Oh, that is so good. Anyways,
right, hang on. Sorry, before you press play again.
Yes.
While I was looking for the information, he says he's not got 3 million just hanging around, right?
Yeah.
Hang on, where is it?
And Steven Crowder can't believe that he just said that. Right before you say that, he said he's got one house. Bullshit, bitch. You got gazillions of houses, motherfucker.
Alex Jones owns over 17 real estate properties.
Yeah.
3 luxury yachts. And many more assets in the past 12 months.
But this douche nozzle doesn't have anything.
A gross sales of over 20 million. He earned a profit of up to 5 million. Like, he makes $500,000 a month.
Exactly.
In sales alone.
Let's hope they do that, Mama. That's what I'm hoping, because what I'm hearing from a lot of people that are way smarter than me and that know the legal system way better than I do, because obviously I'm a nobody and I'm not smart, is they're saying that like there's a way that he may not be able to have to pay them for a hot minute, or can get around delaying the payments or something like that, which I hope he can't do, and I hope he does not do. And these people actually do get paid so that we can like make him bankrupt for real, and then he can't do what he's doing, or he realizes hopefully maybe that he needs to go a different direction with his propaganda, I guess is the best way to put it, because the frogs can't sue you, so you can keep calling the frogs gay all day long. Nobody, hey, even if right-wingers are going into the swamp and they're fucking shooting frogs, I mean, they're already going to go shoot them anyways to make a stew out of them, right? So it's not like he's hurting anybody if he says go kill the frogs. Yeah, and that's what sucks, is that he's rich because he is a piece of shit.
That was the other thing I found out. He apparently, just a week or so before the Texas trial, which happened in August, he withdrew $80 million from his account.
Yeah.
And invested it. So it was not able to be taken and seized.
And supposedly, to the best of our knowledge, he hid assets and did a bunch of things where you get offshore bank accounts and shit like that. And so he also definitely
bought the properties in his wife's name. The 3 lots are bought in his wife's name, and just before the Texas trial again, he had those yachts moved to Canada.
Canada, of course.
The
Blame
luxury yachts worth
Blame
multiple millions of dollars. These are the top of the line. Like these would sell for like 10 million.
Exactly.
And he's got 3.
Yeah. But he's bankrupt and he has no money, and he doesn't make any money. He never had any money, of course, obviously, right? So what we're gonna do really quick is we're gonna do the get Slim, because I didn't put this as a thing yet. We didn't even look at the poll. We'll look at that in a second. So get Slim drunk with $5. We're doing the $5 thingy mabobber again. I definitely need more alcohol if we're doing this. But if you don't have money to throw into it, don't worry about it. That's not what it's all about. It's just like to have more fun, and it helps with doing these streams. Let me look right now at the thingy mabobber, which is the poll. Of course, is 50%. Nope is 36%, and hell no is 14%. So we have 14% of the people who aren't really that interested or don't look into these kind of weird. I'm glad that 14% of you, or 14 of you said, or 14%, said that you don't, because it's insane to like look these people up and to watch them and to like take in their idiocracy and not go insane listening to them. So let's keep blowing on.
Me means nothing, and it'll actually make me work harder to expose them. I'd work for free exposing them, so they're never going to silence me without killing me or put me in prison.
Right.
And so that which doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. But they specifically say
So
over and
now
over
he said
again,
he's gonna work
they want me
harder.
taken off the air. They want me bankrupt. Okay, so we're in chapter 5, chapter 11, chapter 5 bankruptcy. That isn't liquidation. It's where we do a plan to the federal government. We say, okay, you can have the future profits towards all these lawsuits in the future in a 5-year plan. And there's not much profit around here. So my crew stays hired. We stay on air. It becomes a zombie organization is what they call it, because now any profit, but they're not allowed to fire people or do all that stuff. The operation continues on. The listeners support it. And then whatever extras there, they get paid. That's in 2 years at least, even if this isn't overturned on appeal. So they announced the end of Alex Jones. It's all over. It's all more hype, more fraud, more disinformation. So that's what they just did here. And I have more clips of them specifically saying,
Can I ask you a
we
question,
want to
Alex?
take him out.
And I'm not trying to cut you off, but some of these questions are just because it's hard for me to find the truth, the answers on it. I know we talked about the cap. We talked about the cap in Texas, right? On I believe is it punitive damages?
Yes.
Is there a cap in Connecticut, or are you, unless it is overturned on appeal, are you on the hook for the hundreds of millions of dollars?
The short answer is they lie and say I owe $50 million in Texas. It's about 5.6. There are caps. It's in the state law. They can't overturn it.
Right.
It's different in Connecticut. The unfair trade practices, or cutmar, however they call it, that is unlimited, and that is up for the judge to decide. So she's going to come back next week and probably hit me with $1 billion more. So all the other ones do have caps, but because there's 15 plaintiffs, they're all capped at, I forget the number, like $4 million. So $10 million is more money than I can get them.
Of course.
$50 million is more. $1 billion. It's all a joke at this point. It's like saying, we're going to cut you into 20 million pieces. Well, if you cut me in 5 pieces, I'm going to die.
Right.
So they're like, we're gonna drop 25 nuclear bombs on Alex Jones's house. And I'm like, I think 1 nuclear bomb would probably kill me.
Probably.
So we're gonna shoot.
But there's a reason why all of this is going on, you fucking dumb twat. They're trying to get you to fucking go away. So yes, you could just, like you wanted to say, which is the weirdest analogy I've ever fucking heard, cut you just into 5 pieces to kill you. But the reason they're cutting you to 20 is to make sure you're fucking dead. They're trying to cut all the heads off the Hydra. They're trying to make sure that you're not going to be around. Well, it's
not just that. You're acting like, if one person cut you into 5 pieces, you would die. But one person has got their cut of you. Right?
Yeah.
There are how many plaintiffs? 15? That all want their
cut of you.
Recompense of you.
Yeah, exactly.
They want their, not revenge, but they want their peace. And I don't mean peace of you, I mean like piece
Let's-
in a piece with.
Let's say he was a cake. All of the people want their piece of the cake, right?
Yeah.
So that is why that's happening, you dumbass. And once again, like that lawyer was saying, we want to destroy you so you can't come back, so you can't harm any other people. You are the one who's killed yourself by making yourself so dangerous, so deadly that nobody wants you around. It's not that you need to be saved or that nobody wants to overkill you or that we want to overkill you. We just need you to go away so you aren't harming other people anymore.
And again,
Who wants to drop 20 fucking nuclear bombs on one place? That's not how this works.
Those families deserve their justice. This isn't about money. This isn't just about destroying you.
Yeah.
You're making it very about you. This is some parents that went through the most awful thing a parent can go through, right?
Yes.
Heart fucking breaking. And then what did you do? You went around and called them liars. You said that their child, that they're mourning still, never fucking existed.
And they were trying to do it to take away your Second Amendment right, which is fucking
and
bullshit.
They're lying. That all their child didn't exist. They didn't matter. They didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then sent your whack job fucking army after them. You called them out by name. You said they were lying. All this shit. They had to run away multiple times. They had to hide all of their lives one morning. Their dead children.
Exactly.
And you were acting like, oh, they just want my money. They just want to do that. No, fuck off. You actually hurt people and they are trying to get their justice. And you're going to throw your toys out? Fuck you. They're trying to make sure that you don't ever get to hurt people again like this.
Yeah. And then what did you do during the trial? You were talking shit about the judge, saying the judge was satanic or that it was like blah, 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 all this other shit, dude. And it's like, no, you're a disgusting person.
Defend like one of the parents the R word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That they were manipulating him. Like,
so once again, you are a horrible person and you deserve to not be in front of the public anymore. And we have a Skits Crasher that just showed up.
Yay!
Hey, Skits! What's up, motherfucker?
Should I send the link to Skits?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay,
if you would like to come on, Skits, go ahead. Now, let's play a tiny bit more because, once again, you are making this about yourself and not about how you fucked over other people. You're being a very, very hardcore narcissist, I think is the right word.
Yeah.
By making this about, if you were really sorry about other people, you would have fucking said, I'll give you money. I did make a mistake. Here's money. But that's not what you did in court. You went and fucking said, yeah, I said I was sorry, but I'm not really sorry. And when I'm going to go on my show tonight, I'm going to fucking like.
Do you know what he could have done? He could have given a very, very public apology.
Yes.
Offered them some money and then signed a legally binding contract saying that if he ever mentions them again, he owes them X amount of money per infraction as a apology and a show of faith that he will not do it again, to show he is serious in it, because if he never mentions it again, then he never has to worry about the money, does he? And I don't mean ever mention like saying, okay, Sandy Hook, like, you know, you have to pay the money. I mean, like, and those liars of this and those liars of that, then pay the money. You get what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
That's all it could have taken.
If you were in real repentance, you would have done things a way different way than acting like the victim, which you were doing in this case, is acting like the victim, which is not what you do when you have victims that you cause to make victims. I guess the best way to put it. So let's keep blowing on.
20 million bullets in the...
So it can be true that he never meant for the snowball effect to happen that did, right?
Sure.
He can be apologetic for his part, but also be like, that wasn't because of me, and yeah, there is an extent where it can be about him. You get what I mean? But not the whole way. Like, you can say, I'm
totally.
sorry for what I did. I did not mean for this to happen this way. I did not think what I said would cause my followers to do this. I now know I have to be very fucking careful with what I say.
Sure. Yep.
Like, even then, that's still okay. But what you're doing now, man, like, Jesus Christ, do you not own a pair of testicles?
Yeah.
Do you not have the testicular fortitude to be able to say, I fucked up? Or are you that much of a prissy little bitch?
He's definitely what you just said there. And yes, Super Ghost, he did just say he is sick and tired of being sorry. That's what happens when you fuck up, bro. You have to be sorry your whole life.
I'm so tired of being sick.
Yeah. So when you fuck up, you have to, unfortunately, deal with that. There's a lot of things that I've done in my past that I sometimes remember and get very, very sad and tired and of being it, but you can't get away from it. I mean, yes, as long as you change your life for the positive in the future and change your ways, yes, but that's not how realizing you fucked people over works, bro. You have to live with it.
You instead of 5 bullets. So this is all overkill. It's just the left having a temper tantrum.
And
they want to scare everybody else and get a bunch of other lawyers to file lawsuits to come after all the conservatives and all the nationalists and all the patriots. And I really appreciate you letting me get that out there, because it's so frustrating to be kind of only have my show that has a big audience, but it's compartmentalized because of censorship. It's very hard to actually get the truth out there.
No, it's not just censorship,
so people
Alex.
understand.
It's not just censorship. It's
you have your own website, bitch. Don't fucking talk about fucking censorship. Anybody can go on your website and look up your shit and watch it all day long and jack off fucking listening to your punk ass and all the other people on your fucking shows.
But he's right. He is compartmentalized. He has peaked analytically. He has reached all the people that he was going to naturally reach, because all the people that he's gone so viral, clips of him have gone so viral, he's such a household name. Anyone that would want to listen to him does. That's why I'm saying I'm so glad you've let me on your show so I can try and sway over new people. Because that's the only way he will, because people aren't going to naturally go over to him, because everyone that will has already.
Yeah, because he needs to go on Tim Pool's show. He needs to go on Ben Shapiro's show, and then Steven Crowder, which he is now. And then, you're going to potentially get a handful more. But if you already know these idiots, then you're already watching all of them. I'm sure.
More than likely.
My ex-girlfriend's son, even though, like, I swear to God, he was Mexican, or at least part. But it doesn't matter. But he would wake up in the morning and listen to Joe Rogan, and then he'd listen to like Tim Pool, and then, like all day long he was just listening to all these right wingers, and he'd come out and he'd be like, "Fuck everybody, they're trying to take over America." And I'm like, "You're not even white, bro. Like it doesn't even matter to some extent." But I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't even leave your fucking room, and we live in Colorado, and like, I'm like, how do you know anything, bro? You don't know anything. Like, get out and fucking touch some grass.
He, like, literally still a fetus at the grand age of 17. He 18, like, no experience of the world.
Yeah.
Child.
And he was running around like an incel because his ex-girlfriend cheated on him and blah, blah, blah. And so he was mad at like every woman, even his mom, because, I mean, everybody behind the scene knows who my ex was. So, of course, he kind of hated women. But again, all the people that are the incels are already going to be there. The only problem is like every 2 or 3 years, right, you're going to have new a group of incels, right? They're going to get to that certain age and they're going to begin watching certain content and they're going to begin falling into this bullcrap. But that's why what we do on this channel, which I know it's not going to change anybody's life. I know we don't do anything comparatively to the zeitgeist, but we try to help stray people from listening to these idiots, and hopefully you understand by listening to people who are modified and not normals that we don't follow. Like my favorite thing that I used to hear when I would begin talking with flat earthers is, oh, you're a leftist and this, and I show them a picture of me swallowing a sword and they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fucking trend follower, you dumb cunt. I actually do my own research. I've traveled the country. I've talked to gazillions of people. I've toured. I've made music that I put on stage. When the only way to understand how society is pseudo running, right? And being running is not the right word. I want to use something else, but it doesn't matter. When you're a stage performer, you have to tell the right jokes to get everybody in the room to laugh. You have to get everybody to not run away from you. You have to make it so it's palatable, right? You have to know social order or social balance, right? Being a stage performer and being a musician, you can't write songs about stuff that nobody knows, right? It has to be palatable for audiences. You have to talk about what's going on in the current times. You have to make it either funny or something. Otherwise, the people are standing there are like, why is he talking about the spaghetti monster's butthole and something else? You know, like what correlation does that have to my life? I don't know. I don't know the spaghetti monster, even though that is like a religion, a thing. But if there's no correlation, then you don't have people latching on to it. Okay, let's keep blowing on because I totally went on a tangent, like always.
Cowardice. You and I have had conversations, obviously off air, where I wouldn't say called you on that, but I've said I don't agree with this. I don't like that. Remember, I remember early on the show saying I don't like that you sometimes stir up infighting with conservatives. I remember you saying, you know what, I used to do that more, and I decided the left is a more important enemy. We've had very strong disagreements.
I don't know if you're talking about me
compelled to have you on
or
because some of the biggest figures in our movement,
yes,
who, by the way, agreed
both
with all of some of your quote unquote conspiracy theories that I thought were incorrect. They didn't have you on. It is censorship, and it's cowardice from people on the right. And by the way, I've experienced that too. I've experienced that for jokes that then people on the right will take out of context. So my issue is not so much with the left being the left, right? It's like being mad that a crocodile bites you. I'm mad with people on the right who aren't doing it. Let me ask you, Alex, really, point blank. I know you talk about appeals.
Now he's, of course, saying the right's fault as well.
I am way more scared about the direction the country's going in if they admit this is a formula for everybody. I mean, while the right wing laughs.
And then, of course, listen to this fucking... We just have to do this right before we even get to it. I'm just going to even just say this.
Oh. And off you go.
Word salad time. Because it's insane what he's going to say.
And it's easy to clean off.
And it's easy to clean off. So here we go.
Some of them says, oh, it's just Alex Jones. They're on every channel saying, we're coming after everybody now with this model. And they've even got the Republican Secretary of State in Texas saying we want to come after Republicans that question election fraud. Give me a break. So you have the rhinos, the neocons, the rabid left allied together against the populist uprising of nationalist Americans who are peacefully trying to take our country back. So I'm way more concerned about nuclear war. I'm way more concerned about financial collapse.
Yeah,
here's a good point,
Shut
Stephen.
the fuck up.
Frankly, the way inflation's going, the way it accelerates.
That was so peaceful. It was just people trying to have a picnic in that place, and they were just having fun.
Well, looking for people to
they
kill.
erected the picnic tree, right? Oh wait, no, that was a gallows.
Yes, and they were just saying they wanted to hang out with Mike Pence, right? They didn't want to do him harm. They weren't asking for Nancy Pelosi to come out so they could harm her. They wanted to take photos with her, right? That's exactly what they wanted.
Those ties were for kinky stuff, not
They wanted to make a safe word and all that. They just wanted to play, they just wanted to have a big orgy with all the people who were going to say that Biden was
the American government fucks everyone else. They just wanted to fuck the American government back.
Yeah,
understandable.
they just wanted to have fun.
Accelerates towards Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe. In 10 years, there's such
Republican in Zimbabwe. I still don't know what the fuck he said. And one more time, I want to go back. Just so we're at 16. Okay, we're going to go here and listen to this again.
Uprising of nationalist Americans who are peacefully trying to take our country back. So I'm way more concerned about nuclear war. I'm way more concerned about financial collapse. I mean, here's a good point, Stephen. Quite frankly, the way inflation's going, the way it accelerates towards Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe, in 10 years, there's such inflation, $1 billion will be like $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, at the current rate we're at here.
No,
So
that's not how that works. Inflation
I'm not
will
scared.
never rise that high.
I am disgusted, and I really feel proud of myself because I've told the truth about this. I've said when I was wrong. They have created this whole synthetic identity for me, the straw man, and then they sat there and had to lie to a jury and suppress the truth and tell them I was guilty and rig this kangaroo court. So I myself can hold my head tall, but I am in general very concerned for my children, for the country in the future, because of the rapid acceleration.
If you were so concerned about your children, you would not have had them taken away by by the state or given to your wife as full custody by the state, because you're so fucking insane that the government said you cannot have your kids anymore. He barely can see his kids at all.
Like, if you were actually scared about your children's well-being, you would be doing something good for them. You wouldn't be scaring them shitless by having helicopters hover over them constantly, causing them to get sleep deprivation, causing them to have panic attacks, causing them to have PTSD. Every time that kid sees a helicopter now, they're scared that you're fucking with them.
Yeah, exactly.
What
and
the
all kinds
fuck
of
is wrong with you?
He also had multiple private detectives following around his family as well to see who his ex and his current wife, I don't think he's married anymore, but at the time, the current wife were doing.
Yep.
Seeing if she's sleeping around.
Not for their
But then,
protection, not to make sure that people don't target them, because he wanted to make sure they weren't spies. He wanted to make sure that they weren't selling him out, like actual delusional paranoia. Not
for sure.
I'm a high profile celebrity. I need to make sure they're safe. I'm going to have someone follow them to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. So let's watch a little bit more of these crazy, insane thingamabobbers.
Into total and complete corruption.
And I know you have some other things you want to hit. I don't even know if we can probably show the clips on YouTube. But Gerald here, I know has a question for you. You can't see him, but he's champing at the bit. Gerald, please.
Yeah. So you said earlier that this is going to be overturned. Why do you think that it will be overturned? Not that you just have kind of this faith in that that's going to happen.
Okay, I got money from somebody. It looks up. Thank you.
Well, that's an excellent question. I have talked to dozens of very well-known constitutional lawyers. I can tell you Norm Pattis is a very...
He talked to a bunch of constipation lawyers. Oh, constitutional. Sorry, never mind. I know what he said. I'm just
constitutional scholars. Lawyers. Oh, I thought like he was talking to.
Wait, is there? Okay. Yeah. There would be a difference, right? A scholar and a lawyer would. Okay, I just to double check.
Lawyers would have studied it and know like the history of it, and lawyers would actually know the functionality of it and what actually stands up in court or not. So like
stand up. I'm supposed to stand up. Oh, never mind. No. Stand up in court. Sorry. That's different.
Stand up on stream.
Well, Slim, please stand up. Never mind.
Well, the real Slim Cyborg, please stand up.
Unfortunately, Lizard, we're not doing gaming tonight. Yes, I know this is mind-numbingly boring. I know, but this is one of the things that we do go over on this channel to go over crap. But no, there's probably no gaming tonight.
Your face is boring.
Glober Mom says he lost.
Doesn't mention gaming.
Yeah. And really quick, Roast, Salute, Solanche. I know there's a couple other ones I always forget, but here we go. Thank you, Skits. Oh shit! I don't have a beer. Fuck me. Bad vodka. God damn it! I don't have a beer right here. Woo. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play this for a second. I'm gonna go grab another one. I'll be right back. Bad vodka.
Very well-known, successful lawyer around the country. He's talked to current and former judges in Connecticut and in New York, federal and state, that say this is the most insane craziness they've ever seen. The judge said in open court, I said this months ago because she'd done rules in limine and told us what I couldn't say. She said in court, can't say you're innocent. Can't say you barely ever talked about these people. Can't say you didn't make money off of it. Can't be political, but they could hold up magazines I put out exposing Obama, but then we couldn't respond back to it. She literally tied our hands and did this. So either America's gone and completely done, or in Texas and in Connecticut, if I have the money for the appeals, that's why they want to bankrupt us right now, because they are so scared that if there's any justice left at the Texas or the Connecticut Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme Court, they've got to overturn this because the deep state, the ambulance chaser brigade are openly saying they're coming after everyone with this, just like when I got censored.
So are you saying that you think the people in the appeals court will see the gravity of it? Is that what you're saying, why you believe it'll be overturned?
I don't know the fix is in that high, but I know that they've got their pound of flesh, they've demonized me, they brought back up Sandy Hook, they made a bunch of money for their charities, they got $73 million from Remington. I mean, these dead kids are cash machines for these lawyers, okay? And now nobody knows who Adam Lanza is that killed the kids, they only know Alex Jones. And so, I'm sorry, what was the question, Stephen? I apologize.
No, I think you answered the question. Well, I think Gerald really wants to know, why do you believe it will be overturned? Do you think it's because they wanted to make an example of you, and then when it comes down to the actual constitutional law, it won't hold water? Is that why?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, they have to, or the country's over. I mean, you have to understand, when I say kangaroo court, when I say show trial, I mean, this has never before been done. A default's when you just don't even show up.
Okay. What is a kangaroo court? Can somebody describe that right quick, really fast?
I don't know.
Kangaroo court is like a court that is set up just for show. Everyone's already against you. The jury's rigged, all that sort of thing. Like, it's a
You're gonna lose no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's saying that, except for they brought evidence, they brought in fucking witnesses, they fucking did everything there.
Yeah, and in that sort of trial, it's not like a criminal trial where, where there's probable cause for doubt, blah blah blah. You had to prove with the evidence your innocence, right? They gave all the evidence to show one thing. You didn't input any evidence to do it. So it doesn't matter what you say, right? Because your word means nothing. Yeah. It's evidence. So you're not allowed to say I'm innocent because that's not true. Not just by the fact that, like, we know you're guilty of it. I mean, because you're in a court, you are neither innocent nor guilty at that point. You are there. That's all, right?
Yeah.
It went by default because by default you weren't there because you didn't give the evidence over.
Yes.
You may as well have not turned up. It doesn't matter that you were there with no physical evidence. You weren't going to talk your way out of it and convince the jury or whoever. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah. And then when you were on the stand, you were being condescending and a dick and all those things that the judge does not want to see while it's happening. If you would have actually seemed like you were repentful or that you cared that you actually fucked with these people's lives, you probably wouldn't have got sued as much. And or if you would have came on the stand or showed up to court a couple more days instead of saying you're boycotting it. By saying you're boycotting your own trial, nobody is up for that. They're going to fucking make it worse on you.
You showed no.
We gave them everything, exhaustive, and then they let them use the discovery that they said we didn't give them to the jury. They could put on evidence. We couldn't challenge the evidence, and I couldn't testify. That's why I didn't testify when it was time for our quote case. It's only a hearing.
Wait. You said you couldn't testify, and that's why you didn't testify. No, what is it, motherfucker? Could you have testified, but you didn't, or
he could have testified? He wasn't allowed to say the things he wanted to say because the judge had said, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Basically, he didn't go on. He didn't go on and defend himself because, again, like all his tricks, all the little things, he had nothing to back up what he said, so he couldn't say it. He couldn't do anything because he didn't do it because I can't word it properly.
Yeah.
Like, he was ready to try and prime and trick and browbeat and like twist the audience in roundabouts with his word salad. The judge said you can't do that, so he threw a tantrum. Was like, well, if I can't testify the way I wanted to, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of case that they have a jury with it, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it is a judge who comes up with it.
Okay.
This is
I
not
think it's civil, yeah.
It's a civil case, so I believe just
then,
the judge.
Then like the tricks he had wouldn't even work.
No, of course
because
it
those
wouldn't.
tricks work on a jury.
A jury, yeah, totally.
Well, it may work on a judge. You never know. Like,
Well, maybe, but again, you needed to go in there and have empathy and say that you were sorry that you did these things to these people.
It's
and
a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because they've heard it all before.
It's really hard to get hard right now with how horrible this is all I have to say. So anyways, he wanted to do what he did here and deflect from himself. Exactly. So that's why he didn't go on the stand more. Anyways, let's keep blowing on.
Found me guilty. Again, since when? Well, the judge knows best. They've never done that before. They can't do that. You know, if I was caught bank robbing, or something, and I ran off to another country, then you can have default judgments to say, take my house, because I'm not there. There's video of me robbing the bank. I've left the country. They can sue. They can get the house. That's a default judgment. I was there. I participated. I did the depositions. I had my crew members go there. I spent millions of dollars on lawyers. But because there was no case there, they were forced to default because they decided I was the supervillain and they wanted to set this precedent. So yes, all the lawyers agree that we followed good appeal with the hundreds of bad things they did, that it must absolutely be either partially or totally overturned. And if it isn't overturned, no, I'm not scared, Stephen, because I've said on air the truth. I have less than $1.5 million in my bank account. Sounds like a lot to the average working guy, and I get it. With all my bills and crew and all this, that's on empty. My company has less than $1 million in it right now, and that's to buy product and pay payroll and fund our operation. So I never.
Because you're hiding shit or you're moving shit around, there's no way that's the only thing that you have. And once again, yeah, maybe in your business, but if you put things in other places and you have different assets, then there could be a lot of shit.
Like Philo said, like if you put it like in his wife's name, like I'm pretty sure a cunt like him, he's got a couple of friends that they just say like, oh yeah, put it on my account.
He probably has. He probably has it in his dog's name. He probably has the estates in his
17 real estate things, right?
Yeah.
That could be from as little as like 200, 300,000 to
at least
like a couple like 10, 20, 30 million dollar houses, right? He has 3 yachts, luxury yachts that cost again 10, 20, 30 million.
What's the fucking cheapest you can get a yacht for? $1 million? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
he has enough that he could sell off a few properties and pay it off. Like, he's not as poor as he seems, and that's not including any of his other assets like jewelry, Rolexes, things like this.
So what Hassan was saying earlier, and I cheat sometimes. I watch other content creators and they find these things, but we go through them in our own way, and I don't repeat what other people say about when they're going over. But he was like, he's wearing a fucking Rolex watch right now. What are you talking about, bitch? You have no money. The first thing you would start doing is selling off all that shit. So you didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, you have enough money, homie. You're fucking faking this shit for sure.
Never did this to make money. They had all these fake numbers. They had all our finances. They said he made $61 million.
They had all of this. Wait, hold. Fake numbers. They had all of our finances. Fake numbers, but they had all of your finances. How did they fake the numbers if they had all of your finances? How did they fake the finances that they had that you gave them?
If it was fake, he could have proven them wrong because he probably has paperwork himself as well.
Why did you fucking spend millions of dollars on lawyers if you couldn't prove it wrong, you dumb twat? Yeah, no, they like, you just said it, what, without even realizing it, you fucking cunt, that they had all your finances, honey, and they said that he made $61 million. That's what they found when they looked through your fucking finances, you fucking idiot.
Last year, our gross was $61 million. I paid myself $200,000 last year. It's all in the bankruptcy court. They know it. They know it's true.
That's still a lot of money, bro. But again, wait till you hear what he says next.
Was there a year that I paid myself $12 million?
Was there a year that I paid myself $12 million? Absolutely, he fucking says.
Absolutely. The year of the divorce with my ex-wife 6 years ago, thank God it was the Trump era. For the first time ever, we had all this extra money right when she divorces me. It goes through the process, and the court made me pay her close to $10 million to, quote, buy her out of the company because I've been married to her for 13 years.
Why did you have to buy her out of the company? Oh, because you cheated on her or something else like that. And then she said you were fucking not suitable to be married to, and she wanted to get the fuck out. You could have kept her on. Just because you divorced her does not mean that you had to fucking buy her out. You could have kept doing it with her. But what did you decide to do? Buy her out of the company. Actually, your investors, I believe, are the ones that suggested that, from what I've come to understand through what's gone on.
So the 1 year God came through, the 1 year that because usually I make about $1 million, $2 million.
God
a year,
only came through 1 year.
And after all the bills and stuff and legal crap, it's gone. Of course, okay, but I don't do it for money. The 1 year I made $12 million, God came through magically. The money came in to then buy my ex-wife out of the company. So again, they think so. It doesn't matter. They can have a $1 trillion judgment.
Wait. Didn't you just say that you got $61 million for something? And only one time, supposedly, you only gave yourself 12. I think you gave yourself that amount of money out of that because you needed to do what you were doing, which was buying her out of the company, honey. I think you did it on purpose. It wasn't God that gave it to you. You were able to cook the books enough to get yourself to be able to buy her out.
I want to say something here that's important because I see you.
Yep.
I can see your 7,888,000.
Yep.
That's low. The most expensive yacht that this place has, 90 million.
Okay.
$. 9 rooms, 11 cabins, 149,900,000 euros.
Damn.
129 million euros. $84 million. 160 million euros. 130 million euros. 95 million US dollars. 100 million US dollars.
Yeah, no, it's fucking insane. So even just one of his yachts, he could sell to just like help pay for a lot of that shit. And bro, dude, how many fucking yachts do you really need, dude? Okay, let's keep going.
And we all struggle with this, right? Where you're saying, because I know that people think that sounds like a lot of money. And it's sad that you even have to say, no, you don't do this just for the money, but you absolutely deserve to earn a living. If you have millions of people who are listening and the amount of work that you put into it, I understand it. This is what I do here as well. Conservatives are the only ones, surprisingly, the people who support free enterprise, where we feel like, because our audience is largely working class, we want to say, look, don't get mad at me because I make this money. Because there's a huge difference between 1 year making 12 million and a several $100 million judgment. You know who makes 12 million every single year? Colbert. Fallon. No one cares. And I just hope that people on the right don't use that as an example.
They pay the rest of their people
millions.
a good amount of money.
That is not the point. And just for some inside baseball, for people who don't necessarily know, I want to corroborate some of what you're saying. Yeah, you can't prove that you didn't make money off of Sandy Hook. Just like I can't prove that I didn't make money off of that the guy who was fired from Vox, who started the Vox apocalypse. Why? Because this enterprise the only way that we make profit is people signing up because they want to hear what I have to say. And sometimes what I have to say involves a specific person. Of course, it would be hundreds of thousands of people if you were to look over the course of our entire program, but that gets pulled in and they say, you can't say that you didn't make money off of insert whatever story you covered here. We've had that happen on the website.
Well,
We've had people, just to give you an example, just really quickly.
What is he doing with his pen on his finger? What the fuck is this bullshit?
We got someone on the website sue because they say, well, this actually, we don't like this article that went up, and we want you to prove that you haven't made money off of it. And it's like, well, that article maybe had a few 100,000 views or something like that. I don't remember.
We're talking about something different than when you have your audience members go to places and go shoot them up and or go harass people publicly because it happened, and you keep pushing that over and over again after. He's pretending that Alex Jones only told 1 or 2 news stories about this and didn't keep propagating it and or making it so that he was kept ruining people's lives after finding out that these people's lives were being ruined from this, right? So he's downplaying it like a motherfucker, dude. He's just softballing this in. He's bunting. Because he wanted to talk about baseball, right? He wanted to talk about baseball. We'll talk about baseball, motherfucker. It's Steven Crowder. If you fucking want to go to analogies on it, you just bunted him a fucking your way into that, saying, "Oh, only once or twice that we did this or that." You're right, Steven. You do not do what Stephen Jones does through defamating people. What you do is you're an asshole, bitch, cunt ass racist, and you make fun of fucking everybody and their mom. And for some reason you like to make fun of transgender and people who dress as women, and you dress as a woman a lot to do a lot of fucking skits as that. I think in your fucking closet you have a fucking dress collection, and I think you fucking dress up as a woman constantly behind closed doors. Prove me wrong, Steven Crowder. Okay, let's keep going.
Remember, I'm just giving you an example. I don't remember the specific example. And they were trying to say, so you make money. You make money off of this. Your whole company is making money off. No. They don't let you parse it. That's the lie. Because you were broadcasting, and the broadcast.
And then one more difference I want to say right quick before what Steven Crowder does, what Tim Pool does. Actually, maybe Tim Pool does it a little bit more. But anyways, most of these people, they don't have their own website that brings in millions of people. And on their website, they don't have advertisements every single time you do anything. When you are on Infowars.com, as soon as you click onto Infowars.com, you have an ad that will pop up. And you have to click out of it. And then you can watch something. And then an ad comes up. If you scroll anywhere on their page, you will have ads and ads and ads. In every corner, you have an ad. There's gazillions of ads coming at you at all times. That's different than what you're doing here, Steven Crowder, or some of the other people. Hey, Ox. So that's a difference, too, that he's not bringing up that everybody needs to know. Never go to Infowars.com, but if you do, like, you get barraged by fucking things telling you that is your penis not working? Do you not have enough stamina? Do you have not enough testosterone? Have you fucked your wife tonight? If not, you probably need penis pills because she wants it every single night, obviously. Even though you're probably some ugly, huge fucking dude that has a big, huge belly and doesn't take care of themselves and hasn't showered. And no, I'm getting into just untaking care of yourself completely, like not showered for a couple of days and all that fun stuff. And then you try to go hump your fucking wife. Of course, she doesn't fucking want you, not because fucking you need penis pills, but because, dude, shave your fucking balls every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
I just found something.
Okay,
article from last year. Alex Jones lost 500 million in Bitcoin when he threw out a laptop. Says, I couldn't care less.
Of course he doesn't.
But he's investing in things like Bitcoin, things like this. He has the money. He had 500 million. He had $500 million in Bitcoin. He didn't lose it. He's hidden it. Come on.
Probably. Okay,
I know you're right. How you doing?
Hey, Skits.
Finally made it, you bastard.
Oh, Skits is here. Oh, okay. Good night.
Is it time? Is it time to do a shot, Skits?
Sure.
Skits, we finished the tunnel.
I was just gonna. So remember, folks, this goes to Queen to help her. Like, she has a migraine. We're trying to get her into a new pain specialist. And so anything that you give me goes straight to her to help us figure that out. And then getting everything figured out and us me to her and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's blow on with this. I want to say that he is somehow a hybrid mole person with a human or a humanoid, and he is a weird hybrid, and I will not call him 100% human. So, hey, Lucifer, welcome.
Hey, Lucifer.
So here we go. Cheers, bro. Salute. All of the above. Okay.
Cheers. But hey, why are you
Bad vodka.
insulting mold people? Why are you insulting mold people?
So he looks like a mole man hybrid. See how he's got like the little flippers right now? He's like doing this little thingy. That's how they dig. You know, they have the little paws and they dig like this, and they have the little facial hair like that. And for some reason, their hair is always like that. They always have that same hairdo. So I'm just calling it like I sees it. I think he is part mole man. Prove me otherwise there, Steven Crowder, because you all do exactly what we're doing right now, and we're making up claims with no backing, no proof or no evidence. But prove me wrong. And the only way that happens, once again, I'll say that just like I did to Alex Jones, we have to have a 4K video that's uncut with your face, your testicles, and balls, and a newspaper with the day's date. Yeah. I have to see all of them, because the only way to tell if you're a mole person or not is to see your genitals, because I can tell from that, because that's one of the secrets that they did. I could do it the other way and see your anus, but I'd rather see the other side, because I don't want to see your taint. There, Steven Crowder.
Anus okay, balls okay, taint no go.
Put skits up on full screen. Why are we putting skits up on full screen?
Put skits up next to that guy. Oh, are they saying that we look alike?
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
hold on. We have to do this. Hold on. There we go. That's like the closest that we can do to that.
Nah, come on. Don't insult Skits that.
Yeah, no. Skits is way sexier. For sure. So I mean, I would rather
He's
fuck
better
Skits
looking,
any day
less
compared
facial
to
hair and way skinnier.
I got a new
yeah,
poster.
yeah,
too.
and you don't look like a douche nozzle.
Poster?
I mean,
it's a spectrum.
Your background.
He looks a bit douchey, but he looks like a fit douche, so we'll let him off.
Awesome,
There you
sweet.
Woo.
And
Oh, that's a cool one.
like I was just saying, his background is way better than Steven Crowder's for sure. So
Yeah, Steven doesn't have the cyborg poster.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, I have to be on top of Skits. So, anyways, I wanted to point this out one more time. Steven Crowder acts like a little kid, and do you want to know how I have more and more proof of this?
How?
He's still wearing the fucking pin on the end of his fucking finger, like a little fucking kid does.
Oh my god, he is.
He's still doing that. And he look like a teenager that he is in Big, right? He looks like a kid, what a kid would do if they had a big body. I'm going to wear these holsters, and I'm going to have a sunset in this little window, and I'm going to have the flag behind me, and I got a gun on my thing, and I got 2 cups of coffee, and I have a pen for no reason while I have a laptop set up and right in front of me, and cheese and rice, it is just so bad. Okay. Now that I got a couple of breaths in, we'll go ahead and keep killing it.
Good one, Oxy.
Oh.
And what is this one? Yes. And then Mama, yeah. Exactly. They're kind of like Steven Crowder's emotionally sure with the pen. And I still don't know why he is wearing those headphones in this kind of studio, besides trying to look like a fucking sports news reporter. which, bitch, you are not one of those.
No, he wants to look like a Twitch streamer.
And what's even
young girls?
No. He's only attracting young boys. Yeah, no, he's only attracting young boys. But the other thing is, if you'll notice, which we haven't seen, and we may back up a little bit in a little minute once we get further, all his little henchmen, they're like in the background for his program, are put into these little cubby holes now, and they're all like by themselves, like they're fucking chained up to the wall. It's so funny, dude. It's like, yes, master, if I say the right thing, can I go? May I finally get to do what I want? Can I actually leave? It's like so bad how they look like little what's the dude's name in The Hobbit? My precious.
Oh, Schmeagol.
Yeah, they all look like Schmeagol, like sitting in their little booth, like just waiting for Steven Crowder to stand over them and jizz all over their face, you know, so they can finally get what they want, because they've got to be gay. Like, this dude pretends he's like heterosexual way too fucking hard, and bro, everybody is somewhat way, shape, or form bisexual. Just say, hey, maybe I do have gay thoughts, you know? I mean, it just matters on how often you like do those things. And if you do have those thoughts, and or think about that while you're masturbating, because that's like one of the ways that like me and all my friends, or I helped other people when I was taking them through counseling about their fetishes and or about their what they actually could be: pansexual, bisexual, gay, straight, cis, blah blah, yakety, whatever they were. I said, what do you think about when you masturbate? Right? Then that's kind of what you are, and you need to go towards that legally, because, you know, like there's all kinds of fun, interesting, and I have walked people through all kinds of things where they were into stuff that they're like, I don't know how to do this legally, and I'm like, oh, you go to this place, and these people are adults, and they play that way, or, you know, like I like the diaper thing. You're like, yeah, okay, well, you talk to these people, like, you know, like, even though it's ageist, you can do it legally. And it's not always, again, about different, you know, there's just a weird thing they have with this certain play. And it's like, yeah, you go here and talk to those people. Okay, there you go. Have fun with that. Steven Crowder needs to accept his bisexuality way more. And honestly, I think he is gay. My gaydar totally fucking goes. And once again, we don't have anything wrong. We don't kink shame. Do whatever you need to do, boo, within the law. But I think he's a bear, I want to say. So I think he's probably a top. But I do think that he does like making it rain on his friends' faces. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, let's keep blowing on.
Guest always makes money, and even when you were covering Sandy Hook.
I'm just trying to make as much fun of him as I can. That's all I'm trying to do, is just like make fun of Steven Crowder for a shit ton.
That's why they say, if you can't prove the separation of all the streams or any potential revenue generated while you were discussing the Sandy Hook issue, then you can't say that you didn't profit off of Sandy Hook. That's the argument. People need to understand it, because we all struggle with it as business owners.
I totally agree, and I couldn't say it better. In fact, when you said it better. And this is the most important point I'm going to make here, and I got a few documents if I can show them to you that are really important,
Sure.
that tie this all together. This is a major project for 6 years, 2 years before they sued me, and then now the last 4, with literally hundreds.
So what you're saying is, when they looked over the Google Analytics that you all looked at, and they proved that you had spikes talking about Sandy Hook, and you had dips when you didn't, that you all didn't keep making spikes happen for you to make more money. Yeah, no, fuck you, dude. I don't fucking believe that shit for a fucking second, bro. Like, you all knew what you were doing. You're a gazillion-dollar company. You all look at statistics, at what's coming in, what's going out. You look at the fucking analytics. You guys fucking, you probably jerk off to it. He probably wakes up in the morning and has the fucking analytics faxed to him, because he's that old school. Anyways, and he wakes up and he sees the spikes they had last night over talking about it, and he probably jerks off over it. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's the only way they're going to make money. And or if you're not taking analytics, you're going to figure out what is going to sell the most things no matter what. So if you're just looking at sales, right? If they're looking at sales totals for the week, they're going to notice patterns. You're going to notice when you're selling more ejaculation pills, when you're selling more hard-on pills, which are different. There's two different things. And or testosterone. Other things you're going to notice when you're selling them a little bit more. The gold and silver, right? That's going to happen before 6 p.m. because it's the older people, when they're at dinner at 4 p.m., they're going to watch your programming and they're going to buy gold. You get to 9 p.m., 10 p.m., midnight, the dudes are either looking to get laid and or like, I can't get hard right now and I'm trying to fuck this hooker. What do I need? Oh, I need this pill. So, right? I mean, because remember, folks, just because you can't get hard doesn't mean you don't get horny. And that's the major thing that sucks about like that is like you still can be very turned on, but your body's not working with you. So you go onto this guy's program because you're pissed off because you're not getting your wife did. And then they're selling you stuff that says you can did your wife. Well, then I'm going to go and buy it. Right. I mean, when I was working in the porn store, I had many old gentlemen coming in saying either I'm too quick and or like I can't get it up for my wife anymore. What the fuck do I do? And I'm like, okay, here's the handful of things you can do that like aren't very, very hardcore, and or there's the way where you peg your wife. You put on a strap on and you just screw her with a fake thing. But anyways, did you want to say something, Skits?
I just wanted to say I don't like how both of these guys are staring into my soul.
Oh my God, my pause game is just so good these days. It's just terrible. But anyways, yeah, so let's keep blowing on. And for some reason, we had 12 people watching until I started talking about that. And no, I'm just kidding. No, thank you all for being here. Thanks for all the thumbs ups. You all rock. Anybody in the future for watching this, thank you for being here. I knew we were kind of going to be clickbaiting a handful of people because of the subject that we're going over, but I think we're going over it pretty well. And anyways, let's go further into this fucking rabbit hole.
Hundreds of articles a week, sometimes thousands. Every major news channel from HBO to PBS to Fox even attacking me over Sandy Hook and building it up into this giant controversy when I was not the Sandy Hook man to set the precedent with the Alex Jones precedent to shut everybody else down. Now let's talk about this being the biggest
couldn't have used
defamation
it for content,
judgment
bro.
in U.S. history by an order of at least 10 magnitude.
Episodes on Sandy Hook. You're the Sandy Hook man because you made a lot of episodes on Sandy Hook. You didn't make one or two. You didn't barely mention it. You made so many episodes on Sandy Hook.
And all the other things too, Bobber. And the other thing that gets us to where we are as well is you're the fucking gay frogs dude. We just watched a thing that said that he wanted to pound leftists in the butt. Right? My. Yeah, the song that we played. There's so many things that you've done to make yourself an extremist that it is easy for the mainstream media, losers like me and other people, to be able to make content off of you. Like literally, I'm a nobody. And look at how easy it is for us to do this and make content. Are we even trying? I'm not trying. You know how drunk I am? It's easy to fucking just go on here and just be like, what the fuck? Okay, let's blow on. And once again, Steven Crowder, you look like you want to go on a date with me and you want to take me into the bathroom and do some cocaine off my butt and then pound me. And I'm not okay with that. But if you paid me enough money, it may happen. $10,000, Steven. I'll let you fuck me.
If I can have an overhead shot here. Damn, I wish the survivors of Epstein received $965 million. Exactly. Good point on Twitter. Eliza,
what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything?
Don't know the names.
It's like hard copy print.
Wait. And what's so funny is he still does everything as a printout. They're all stapled fucking things. It's all printed out. Bro, go to a fucking iPad. Go to a fucking phone. Go to something that's fucking digital. We don't need to see it fucking printed out like that. But like, anyways, oh crap. I don't remember what I was going to do. Let's just do this one for this. Because that shit is fucking cuckoo. Like what he just tried to pull out of his ass. It has nothing to do with anything. Like just sure, buddy, try to say something, but
exactly. We still don't know. We still don't know the names of the Johns. Here's another good point. Purdue Pharma, that knew OxyContin would addict people and kill them by the thousands, had to pay $634.5 million.
What kind of lawsuit was that? Is that the same kind of lawsuit that you're going through right now, honey? Or is it a little bit different? That's the other thing he has to remember. Is this a defamation lawsuit, or is this for penalty for harming people, knowing that you were going to harm people? That's completely different, right? It's a different kind of fucking court. It's a different kind of case. It's government in a different way. It's the government, right? I think that's suing the pharmaceutical Purdue, right? And over this, and the reason why they're finding them that much is because they have proof they can pay out that much for damages for those people, right? There's a number there for a reason, right?
That's fine. It's not going to anyone. It's not going to any victims at all. And the thing is, yes, we are very pissed at that. We are very pissed off that a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical company who knowingly pressed doctors to sell OxyContin to people instead of things that are less addictive for them, got away with a little tap on the wrist. Not even a slap on the wrist, a wee little two-handed tap. Naughty, naughty, don't do that again.
What? No, more. What it was like.
Pissed off that they've gotten away with that, but it's the exact same people that you are panning up with. You pompous prick.
Yeah, of course.
You want companies to get away with shit like this.
Yeah.
You're using it as a side by side. They don't match. They're not the same.
And they, of course, no. And
that's it. Like they are paid. The pharmaceutical companies definitely are in bed with the government. That is a big
of course.
But again, not the same, because that argument you're about to go down is the same argument for national health care.
Yeah. This is like the government patting you on the ass as you're walking out of the room, like, pew, pew, like a little sexy little thing, kind of just like, yeah, don't do it again, honey. You're barely a bratty sub here. I'm just gonna barely pat you on the ass as you're walking out.
Like the American movies where you've got the jock that bullies someone, but it's about to be like the massive finals, and like they have to have him on the team to win. And it's like, oh, what? He knocked you out. Now you have brain damage. I would definitely get him in trouble. He won't be able to do this and do that. No, don't worry. The doors closed. Don't worry. You're not getting any trouble. You better win this game. You go on. You got to win the game. Okay?
Then. Sure. Exactly.
Like, that's the way I look at it. It's all for show.
Exactly. So let's blow on, because once again, like the reason I stopped it, these do not match up, and Vila and we all have said it, and everybody hopefully in the side chat understands that concept. And if you don't, that's why we're here, to kind of give some light to some of these things and show you the difference between things. But again, we're not completely smart. So if y'all want to go out and like look up stuff as well to double check what we're talking about, or look up the things that we're referencing, please go and do that. And don't go look at memes. Don't go to Facebook. Don't go to places that aren't like a .org, or make sure there's like a peer-reviewed version of these things. That's the other thing. It's like peer review. There's a handful of other ways to check your evidence up against other types of evidence, and don't just listen to like somebody in a Facebook group telling you something that is second or third hand.
Wikipedia is not a source. Anyone can edit that.
Yeah. I mean, there are moderators for
teacher did that when we were at college. My photography teacher told us this.
Yeah.
And then when we had an assignment, we'd deliberately edit the Wikipedia page.
Yep.
To make sure if we use Wikipedia, we would be failing.
Exactly.
It's not a source. Other thing.
Yeah.
if a news article doesn't mention solid dates, if it says next Tuesday, well, when? Next Tuesday, when? If it's vague about the time, the days, when it is, that's not good. That means that this is a regurgitative piece that they can put out whenever they want for scare tactics.
And that's exactly what we were talking about when we were going over the furries thing. It was always second or third hand information. Oh, my friend, or I know somebody who's a teacher, or somebody who's the husband of a teacher, and then they said this and that, and then your mom came over and like I didn't have the footage, even though I think that she had sex with me, but I don't remember because of all of the. Never mind. But again, not firsthand perf. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like this did this and there was this and this. It's not like no. I went into a fucking classroom and saw a fucking teacher shitting in a fucking litter box. No, nobody's ever said that. They're just like, oh, somebody told me. Same difference with. It's just all like, you know, it's a runaround to make you think that something's happening, but there's nothing. Like him bringing up this point. This has nothing to do with your case, you punk ass little bitch. And yes, Alex Jones, I'm calling you a punk ass bitch. Same with Steven Crowder. Take me to court, motherfucker. I'm fucking down for that shit.
Yeah, last one I wanted to say was Google the name of the site that you're on and bias check.
Bad vodka.
Right? Always check what their bias is. If it's left-leaning, right-leaning, generally neutral,
so
things like that. If you're reading something about the left wing,
yes,
the right-wing sites are going to be more sensationalized. Same with if you're reading something about the right wing, left-wing sites will be more sensationalist. Right-wing sites will be pussyfooting it. They will be softcoring it, excusing it.
So
find neutral.
Vila, really. So when I was doing 6-minute news packets for different news organizations, and I probably brought them up enough times, and I may say them in a second, but like I hate saying which ones they were because they are so high up there. But what we had to do is I had to go find a news article, and I had to do the research on who was the one who wrote it, where it came from, who backed them, who paid for them to make shit. You know what I'm saying? How were they backed? Because when I was making a lot of these news packets, they were about like billionaires and really rich people, and I was trying to expose really rich people, and that's why I was doing it, because I'm how I am, and that's what we're doing right now. We're exposing rich people. So I had to do enough research to make sure that like I'm really looking into the source to make sure. And then once we had the source that we really were interested in, that's when we would contact them and have them talk on our thing. Right. So I had to find out if they're left, right, middle, or if they had interest in the oil industry or subcontracting or contracting or something like that, right? You had to look at their history, and that's how you figured out what was real and what wasn't. And that's what we try to do on here. And most of us kind of understand. You look at who's doing what, how long they've been doing it, who's funding them, and if it's being funded by like a government. Because a lot of times we do something about like a foreign country, and you look into something and it's like, oh, this is being funded by Israel, or it's being funded by Brazil. It's being funded by, you know, the government of this place. And you're like, okay, well, let me go look at other news sources. Let me go look at independent, like news sources and see what they're saying and try to piece together, and then try to give everybody the information that's collective and let you know there's holes in certain situations. Like Vila, we did this months back. We were doing the Sun, right? And I was like, oh, this is probably not reputable. And you're like, yeah, that's kind of like the National Enquirer for the Americas or something, right? Like we go over where do things come from or what are they? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, the Sun is not very reputable. It's run by Rupert Murdoch, who's a prick. They are.
Yeah. And so that's why we said that. That's why we said the Sun is probably not reputable. And then you said, yeah, exactly what you just said. And that's what we do is we go through different sources and let you know how much information we have on them or not. And that's not what he's doing here. Anyway, let's keep blowing on because like I've gone
8 different newspapers. They all say the same thing 8 times.
Yeah.
Other thing, 6 out of the 8. Another thing, 4 out of the 8. One paper says one thing that's none of the others say. Well, we're going to go the ones that are the most recurring. The one newspaper that says it. Where did they get it? Were they published first or last?
And one major thing you have to look at in the Americas, I don't know what it is in other countries, is if the Associated Press did it, everybody and their mom is going to say kind of the same thing, the Associated Press. And they're pretty reputable, but that's like where a lot of mainstream stories come out. And I was featured in the Associated Press in 250 newspapers in 2015 for us being one of the first sideshows being brought back into a county fair in the last 20 years in Colorado.
Nice.
So that's when I got a little bit better associated with the Associated Press, and then I started following. But that's what you have to figure out too. Yeah. Who's giving everybody the information and what is the original source? Look at that and then go, oh, I see everybody's piecing this together, and then go further outside of that. So you just do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research. You just do a little bit of looking into it, other than going on a Facebook page and seeing a bunch of memes that say the Earth can't be around because I picked my nose, and when I flicked it, it went right across and it hit the chicken in the eye, and that means the Earth is flat.
Well, my brother was fucking hit that one.
Yeah, and then he, he came out it's because and that means the Earth's flat. No, I need more proof than that, and you didn't video record it or show me any kind of information inside of that or out of it, and it wasn't 4K, and you didn't give me measurements, and that's the other thing is they always say their dick's a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yes.
My little man tired me out.
Yes, I know.
I've already been sleeping. I'm surprised you haven't muted me yet. And just for skits.
Oh, right.
Giggity. There we go. All right, Brainless.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Have a good night, brother.
Night. So, anyways, let's blow on with this hoax that he's trying to pull the wool over people's eyes about that has nothing to do with him.
On the 10+ billion they made profit in the OxyContin case. Alex Jones killed no one, ordered to pay $965 million for Sandy Hook lies.
And I don't think anyone is blowing somebody in an alley because of their addiction to colloidal silver.
Absolutely, they're not. Here's another one. The largest fine paid by a banking executive responsible for the 2008 financial crisis was 67.
These has nothing to do with each other. They're different kind of cases. They're for different reasons. You're just fucking doing this just so that you can scapegoat out of it.
0.5 million. Jury says Alex Jones pays $965 million. Here's another one. Yes, from a lawyer, Viva Fry. Yes, except for OJ was found guilty of the actual deaths of 2 victims after a trial. No, it was a civil trial. Whereas Alex Jones was found guilty of making false statements about people who were murdered by someone else without a trial. So OJ pays $33.5 million. I pay $900+ million, and it goes on.
Because you harmed more than one person, motherfucker. You harmed fucking. I don't remember the first one. If Mama's still here, will you tell us? The second one was fucking 17 people, 15 people, and the third one is going to be 17 more people. Bro, you just fucked a crap ton of people's lives. It was like that you. I'm not going to say it that way. You influence people's lives to be altered in very, very hardcore ways. People had to move. People had to change school districts. People had to change their social medias. They had to take their names offline and come up with new names and be asked to have new names. All kinds of fucked up shit. It happened because of what you did. Yeah, no, exactly. And there were victims. Just because he wants to think there was no victims, everybody who was involved in this by what he did made victims, and that's why they're making money. He wants to pretend that he did nothing, but he did all of this bullshit. And once again, These have nothing to do with the court case he's done. Just like what Chili did, right, Mama? Just like what Chili did in his court case, he brought in all these other witnesses that were being supposedly abused by Kate, and he was trying to use that against him. No, the court wants to know what happened to you specifically, what happened in your case, not what happened in other cases. Yes, when you go to court and you have a decision that happened in another court case, you can bring that up. That is not the same as witnesses from another court case being pulled into your court case. Your court case is your own, and your evidence is your own, and you use people that have witnessed evidence in your court case. But you can still bring up a court decision in the court you're in to use it in your court case. God, how do I know more than fucking these people? I'm a fucking tattooed freak, and I know this bullshit.
What's going to happen? Absolutely. He was found innocent by the criminal, but guilty by the civil. So when are they going to sue MSNBC for some of the lies that were done? I want $1 million. My feelings are hurt
just like
by
what
their
Chili
lies.
did.
And it just goes on from there. Those are some really important points.
No, I think these are important points.
Case,
I think we actually have some questions from. Do we have some questions from the audience? If you're okay taking a couple, and then we'll go to Mud.
I want to take them. Can we play that?
From random fucking idiots across the internet, and that's supposed to like change our minds.
Yeah, no, he's showing Yeah, exactly. He's showing tweets from fucking other idiots. And like that has nothing to do with anything with what this is. And once again, they don't understand the concept of law. I know I love this fucking my pause game is fucking on tonight, but they don't understand the concept of law. Where the only reason I most likely understand most of this is because I've been to court a handful of times for different reasons. And once again, I will say it. It was for stealing a necklace when I was 14. Having cigarettes on me when I was 16, or 15 or 14, and then getting arrested for 11 hits of LSD at school when I was 15, right before I was 16. Then at 17, I got arrested for driving without a license. And then at 18 or 19, oh no, it was 18, I got arrested for having 55 hits of LSD crossing the county borderline. And then I did 1 or 2 violations in that. And then once I got to Colorado, I got a DUI and a DWAI, and then I got a pot offense. So that's what all I have done being in the legal system. I don't have any violent offenses. All of mine are all drug related and shit like that. But I've been in the court enough to know, yes, this works in this way, and who's suing you which way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never been sued by a person or an entity other than the state. But once you've been around this, you understand this. And that's the other reason why we definitely are, and I think it's going to be on Queen's channel, but we're definitely going over the Daryl Brooks or whatever the fuck that douche nozzle's name is for his sovereign citizen court case. We're definitely going to go over a lot of stuff for him because he's a sovereign citizen. Not because he did what he did per se, but because he's a sovereign citizen. And we're going to go over how he does not understand the law, and we'll go over that more. And what I would really love in the future is if there were people who are actually involved in law or have any kind of law background to join us in these things and to help us discern what is exactly going on with these things. But anyways, let's keep blowing on.
That one other clip that's about a minute and a half long of the lawyer saying, shut him down, silence him.
Yeah, do you have it? Do you want to play it from your end?
We have it. We're going to go ahead and roll that clip now. Here it is.
Thanks, brother.
I ask that with your verdict, you not only take Alex Jones' platform that he talks about away, I ask that you make certain he can't rebuild the platform. That's what matters.
Yes.
Take him out of this discourse, of this misinformation, of this peddling of lies, and make sure he can't do it again. That is punishment. That is deterrence.
And that's exactly what we're speaking about right now, is trying to get him off the platforms, get him out of discourse, get him to not be in the zeitgeist anymore so he can't ruin other people's lives through his insanity. Yes, I'm gonna do it this way. yes, we do love the insanity that he gives us. We do love the insanity that Tim Pool and all these other people give us. And I love making fun of flat earthers. I love talking about the mud flood. I love talking about all this shit. I'm here because of that. As long as people aren't dying, as long as nobody's getting their house shot up, as long as there's nobody being dead named, as long as there's nobody being like bombed, as long as no violence is happening,
it's not worth the pain. Like
exactly.
The laughs that we get are not worth the suffering they cause others. So I'd rather it go.
That's exactly. I can get hundreds of views off of this by doing this to promote myself. But if it kills anybody, if anybody dies from that, if there's any suffering from it, then it's not worth it for me. But the reason why we're trying to do this is to stop the suffering. I'm not doing this to actually get more engagement exactly 100%. Yes, I am, but it is not for anybody to lose anything. We're here to actually, and that's why I pulled us up to full screen, because I'm trying to make this serious. We're here to divulge that these motherfuckers are fucking assholes. They're fucked up, and this needs to not happen anymore, and we're anti it. So now that I've said that, let's go back to here, and we're going to go over the rest of what this lovely gentleman says, which I think is hilarious. They use this as proof that they're right when he is just proving they're wrong.
But somewhere out there right now is another family getting their picture of school, fixing their lunches, from the work, picking up their kid. And there's going to be a day when that child doesn't come home from school. And we know it, and it's sad, and that's reality. And the question is going to be, where is Alex Jones when that happens? Is he in the studio? Getting ready to dance? Or will you stop him?
Someone get him that infomercial spray hair.
That's going to be your case.
Fuck you, Steven Crowder.
That's what we got for his argument.
Who cares? Who cares if this dude is balding? That's not how this world works, dude. He's not there to fucking make sure he looks fucking golden for this fucking thing. No, he's here to fucking make sure that he's presenting the evidence. He is giving you everything you need for this to happen. And Alex Jones is the one who's the fucking douche nozzle that fucking is making gazillions of dollars off of the suffering of other people. Like, even calling the frogs being gay is making money off of suffering. Because the frogs aren't turning gay, brother. They are hermaphrodites. They turn male or female, weathering there's certain toads, and that's what he was talking about in this case. They weren't frogs, they were actually toads. They actually will change gender if there's too many male or female. It just is a reptilian. It's a reptilian thing. Nobody's turning the frogs gay. They're just changing gender to do whatever. It's a hormonal thing that happens through certain species. There's a gazillion species that happens through, but this punk ass bitch doesn't want to explain that and doesn't want to talk about how it actually is, and or that gazillions of species are not fucking straight. There's homosexual species out there constantly, and or they're not just male and female heterosexual relationships. There are a lot of times where there's a male and female to make the babies, but there's a dude who's doing things with other male or female on the side, or she is, or there is like koala species or something where in the middle of the night she goes out and fucks like 20 other dudes. Like it's not as monogamous as everybody wants to make it seem. So once again, you're pigeonholing and you're making your audience see only one thing, when if you actually went into the data and you looked into it and you talked to these people who are specialists in the field, you would find that it was way completely different. But all that this dude has, just like Skid says, and maybe Vila says, is he's going to fucking talk about his hair.
Because that's what justice is in this case.
And there's many other clips of them saying, we want him off air. We don't want money for the
because you're ruining people. Because you're ruining people's lives and you're fucking people up. That's
They
why.
want to silence his future speech. So even a murderer goes and does their jail time, gets out in 20 years. But no, they're saying keep him deplatformed, bankrupt him, shut him down, and don't send him money because we don't want money to the plaintiffs because they don't want me to have money for the
totally,
appeals.
that's
Because they know
exactly.
there's a
It's the rainbow
98%
colors
chance
they
this crap
see
gets overturned,
after.
Stephen.
Well, you know what else they're doing? This is something else they're doing that people don't fully discuss, is they want to make other people afraid to even work with or for you. Makes it impossible for you.
How? What are you talking about, you fucking weirdos? That doesn't make any sense.
Hire, right? That's what they tried to do. They tried to do that with me to a lesser scale. It's harder to do with a comedian because they would try and run jokes. But what they're trying to do is also make it impossible for you to even recoup these losses. I mean, we do have to remember, it's not just Alex Jones. You have many employees.
What are you talking about, you twat?
And, some of them are great. Some of them are assholes. But a lot of them are great. But this is the thing: is they want to make sure we all have them, right? I have some here. The Yakuza, he pisses me off half the time, but I love him. Yeah, they want to make it impossible for you to do it. This is your livelihood. Now, I want to take, if we can, I'd like to, and that is bone.
Yes, sir. I got all the time in the world. Really appreciate you having me.
Okay,
so just like they say about, oh god damn it, I really don't really want to say this. Okay, just like any type of Holocaust, any type of like wartime. You're going to do whatever you're going to do without asking questions. So you killing people is going to be okay just because you need a job? No, honey, that's not how this works. Go get another fucking job, Alex Jones, Steven Crowder. Go find something new to do and not destroy people's lives. You can find something else to do. If you have to work in a fucking factory, if you have to fucking... Yeah, I'm sure that they did. I'm sure he's demonetized for sure at this point, and I'm probably sure I am. But luckily, I'm not monetized. So, anyways, you fuckers go find something new to do, right? I don't do this for a living. I do multiple other jobs to make money. Skits does pay me a lot of money to drink shots, but other than that, no, I'm just kidding. You know, there are other ways to make money, bro. You don't have to do this for a living. It's your choice, not your... You're not made to do that. No government, nobody is holding a gun to your head making you do this. You choose to do this.
Well, we'll take a couple of chats here, and then I'll have to go to the bathroom. I've been drinking Gatorade. I had a horrible stomach virus. Be careful out there right now. It's going through Texas like a buzzsaw. Token, let's grab a couple of questions from the audience here that we usually only do on Mud Club.
Okay, so now you're going to see his little cohorts. This is his editing staff, his production staff. Sorry, I didn't mean to say editing. It's production staff. So he has 3 little douche nozzles that are sitting here in a row, but they're only for production. There's other people that he has hiding in the wings that actually will talk. They may talk once or twice, but these guys are just here to just make sure he looks good behind the scenes.
Special case. Yeah, our Mug Club viewer Jerry has a question for you, Alex. What do you feel was an appropriate penalty for what you said?
Okay, so one of them is
nothing.
Saying stuff.
It's better that 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man be prosecuted or persecuted. They got rid of my due process.
What are you
the judge
talking
found
about,
me
bitch?
guilty. They lied about it all. They hyped up what I said. They exaggerated it. I never sent people to their houses. It's a lie. They're setting a precedent to steal your rights, not just your rights to listen to what you want to listen to and make your own decisions.
No, bitch. Really quick. You punk ass said, fucking, they're trying to take away your guns. Go to their house and go fucking shoot up their house because they're trying to take away your rights. Literally, that's pretty much what you fucking said, you bitch. And motherfuckers went to these people's houses and shot them up. They also went on to their personal accounts. Like, there was a birthday party they were having for their deceased son, and 200 fucking comments went on there saying, bullshit. People are going to come and fucking destroy you for being a liar. Your son never lived. You're just doing this to fucking make a fake thing, blah, blah, blah. A year after their son was murdered in a school shooting, and they were fucking trying to have a birthday party for him, they came on and fucking destroyed that. That is horrible, homie. Like, if you don't understand how horrible of a person you are from that, you fucking need to not be around anymore in Minecraft. And I'm just going to do this really quick. We'll just do this. You deserve to get your fucking balls kicked in and your fucking throat kicked in Minecraft. And there's my disclaimer. It's up in the thing. Exactly. And me and Skits are going to come over and we're going to collapse all of your organs in Minecraft. Anyways, let's go on with this. So let's keep going.
They're literally setting this up to come after the general public. An FBI agent that I never saw, never covered, never said his name.
How is the general public going to come after? Who's coming after the general? Nobody's coming after the general public if you're not doing this shit. None of us that are here, that are in the side chat, that are ever going to watch this ever in their life, except for Steven Crowder, which I know they're not, and or Alex Jones or Tim Pool, or you have nothing to fucking worry about. The government is not coming after you unless you're doing illegal shit. Then of course, but doing what we're doing right now, nobody's coming after you, motherfucker.
He sued me. He admitted it on the stand, was given $90 million because some people on the internet thought it didn't happen. I didn't create the story that it didn't happen. I covered it.
Right.
No, you
so a man's getting $90 million.
How many incels thought that it didn't happen before that shit until you fucking brought it up fucking a million times? Nobody. And so all your fucking little followers, just like I said, my fucking ex-girlfriend's fucking son, I literally like would hear him listening to fucking these people in the morning, and then I'd go and like start doing my fucking stuff, and he'd come out and be like, you know that they're like trying to poison you with the fucking shit and the vaccine, and they're like blah blah blah. He was an anti-vaxxer, and so was his mom. I got his mom to actually get the vaccine, and I had the vaccine. He'd come out and be like, y'all are gonna die from the vaccine, and I'm like, TikTok, motherfucker, let's wait. Fuck you, dude. I know fucking, like he literally was getting these 17-year-olds, these young kids, these preteens, these teenagers to believe in all this shit, and it's going to destroy their life because they're not going to figure out how to get out of it when it's way too late. Because the problem is there are either close to being homeless or in poverty kids. They are not the rich kids that are the ones that are getting impacted by this. The rich kids, they can do whatever they want. They can walk around and do whatever. It's the poor kids that can't do anything because they're being told they're oppressed. The reason why they're not famous already on YouTube or on TikTok is because of somebody else, right? And don't do anything about it. Just sit there and fucking cry about how it's not happening. And when it doesn't happen, go out and fucking buy a gun and go shoot up somewhere. Like that's literally what they're telling all these. And I've seen it firsthand multiple times. My brother right over here, he's a fucking incel. Same difference. He believes in all of this shit and he sputters it out. It's like, dude, you guys are making people's lives to where they are destroying themselves from this. And that's why it's so horrible. And that's why we're going over it. Anyways, Mark Short, welcome. How's it going? Let's go further into this.
Get it? Right. Doesn't exist. He's getting $90 million of this made up mad money, this monopoly money, when I never said his damn name. Folks, that's tyranny. That's dangerous.
And also, it's important when you'll get a lot of people on the left
did
saying,
talk about
him. The right has a double standard because what about Nick Sandmann and CNN? What about Kyle Rittenhouse? They said his name. The president of the United States had an advertisement, had an ad that went out that associated Kyle Rittenhouse specifically with white supremacy. They said Nick Sandmann was mocking somebody.
He was shown, besides all of what he said earlier, and his stepfather and mother were fucking white nationalists. They were very into the saving the country from other people. When he got out, a week later, he had photos taken of him with 3%ers at a bar drinking illegally, and he's putting up the 3%er sign with these fucking racists. Motherfucker was racist, bro.
He was a white supremacist. That's
exactly.
The thing. It wasn't a lie.
No,
and
we have
proof. Spin all you want. He got a gun. Went
technically illegally. He brought a gun across a county borderline and did things technically illegal.
I wasn't sure if it was legal or not.
Well, he had his friend that was 18 in the car while they crossed the county borderline.
Like they drove hours away to go to a riot that they had no invested interest in. They didn't know anyone that owned the shops there, nothing. They went out of their way to put themselves in a theoretically dangerous situation. If they believed it was so bad they needed a gun, why did they go there to do any of this? It's so dumb. He went there to try and be a hard man, and he killed 3 black men. It doesn't matter what those black men were. He didn't know that when he shot them.
Yeah.
He had no idea what they were when he shot them, unless you want to say they were black, so they obviously had a criminal record, in which case you are what? A racist.
Yes. And we'll go over more of that later. Because that we can get into that for like an hour. So let's just keep blowing on with the idiocracy.
But this poor Native American, Nathan Phillips.
I thought I was bad, but at least mine are vaguely in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah.
They're just shit ones, not wrong ones.
Yeah. And homie did go up to that gentleman who was not thinking properly, who just got out of a mental hospital, and antagonized him. That was the first shooting. And then he ran around with his adrenaline and did other shit. And we'll talk about it maybe in another stream because I don't want to talk about it now. But you are not quoting this properly there, Stephen.
As I prefer my Native Americans to be called, Nathan Phillips. They said, yeah, he was mocking Nathan Phillips, and he was stirring up the crowd. They did call out these people by name, and these people had to hire security, and these people had to go into hiding. There is a difference. You did not do that, and they did it repeatedly. They did it all day and all night. Not to mention what preceded Kyle Rittenhouse was the media drumming up actual hatred and
that's right. Violence. And they never showed any evidence for people to harass people or anything. Of course, it was always what somebody else did.
You fucking cunt.
Whereas what happened is Kamala Harris said they're not going to stop, and they should not stop when answering riots. She said they should not stop the riots. The mayor of Seattle said, no, this is a summer of love. We support what they're doing. And then the media said Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist who killed innocent protesters. And mentioned the fact there was a pedophile with a raging erection in a hospital bag. Let's token up.
That has nothing to do with it. Who cares about that dude's past? Kyle Rittenhouse was the one running around fucking antagonizing an insane person. And he ended up killing him. And that was the beginning of his shooting spree. It doesn't matter about that dude's past. What happened to him or what he did before he got out of wherever he was. Should he have been let out of the mental hospital? Fuck no. That is a number one thing that the government needs to realize. Kyle Rittenhouse should have not been there with a gun to antagonize a person who was mentally unstable in a downtown area. And the only reason that homie was down there was because he was trying to see his ex-girlfriend that he had a restraining order against that he should not have been seeing. So yes, a bunch of bad things happened in an order that shouldn't have happened. But homie, if he didn't have a fucking gun to shoot the other dude, homie would still be alive, most likely. And like there wouldn't have been this situation. Okay, let's keep going because I can get stuck on this for like an hour.
And grab one more question, and then we'll take it to Mug Club. And when we go to Mug Club, I'm gonna have to go.
I don't know what Mud Club is
relieve myself, Alex, but Gerald will take the chair. Like 2 minutes. One last question.
Are we doing another shot?
Taylor Kohler wants to know if people only.
Is that what we're doing?
Huh? Ooh, what?
I don't know. I think I got another thing that said a shot. So
sounds fair.
I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm not going to double check. It doesn't matter to me. So what it says, once again, what we're looking at is fucking like Twitter fucking thingy mabobbers. So this dude says a question for Alex. If people only knew one true thing about you among all of these lies, what would it be? They're calling it the Mug Club. Is that what it is on whose channel, Mama? Is it Steven's or is it Alex's channel? And see, I somewhat was okay. Let me do this right quick. Son of a bitch. Bad vodka. Okay, so it's the Steven Crowder Mug Club, and that's what he's trying to promote. It's probably something where you have to pay money to watch that only as exclusive content or something.
Oh, does he mean like coffee mug? You've bought one.
Yeah,
I think it's an exclusive content that you only get to watch.
Over here, saying you're part of the Mug Club would be an insult. You're a fucking mug, mate.
Yeah, no, yeah, totally. Totally.
Patreon, okay.
Okay. God damn it! I forgot what I was. I was looking at. So Mark says, I was also raised to be a racist homophobe, but as soon as I was old enough to think for myself, I realized how fucked up it was, and I changed. Exactly.
Well done, Mark. I'm so glad you broke free from like your initial programming of parents, because not many people are able to realize it, let alone admit it, and grow from it.
Yes. I luckily for me, I grew up in San Diego near the beach, and I was taught that the world or the Americas is a melting pot, and every culture comes together to meld themselves together to make a blanket that caused the Americas to be the America. So you accepted everybody. You went over to a fish fry one night. You went over to a quinceanera the next night. You went over to a bar mitzvah the next night. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was around you. And you lived around everybody, and you went and experienced everybody's thingy. There was, an Irish potluck, this thing, this, that, a barbecue, different things happen. And you just went to everybody's thing, and you just found out what everybody did, and you just accepted it. People are wearing this. Okay, cool. I'm going to go hang out. I get free food, and I get to party. Fuck yeah. Oh, next night, I get to go here and I get to go party, and these people are wearing something different. Who cares? Go fucking party. As long as they told me I was okay to go party with them, and they'd said, don't say this or don't say that, or, like, here, wear this hat or put on this thingy, kind of, okay, I don't give a flying fuck. We're all together here to be together. That's what I was taught, and that's how I lived for most of my young years. And then I did find the skinheads and other weird racist things, like for a year, for half of a year when I was in 8th grade, me and my friends started a skinhead group. Well, I got brought into a skinhead group, and we fought a lot of the school because of whatever. And then later we kind of were like, wait, why do we hate other people? Wait, we don't. Oh, never mind. So it was just like a clan thing for a second. And then we were like, oh, but we don't really hate people, or I want to go eat Mexican food, or I want to go eat, Indian food or something, or they're having a party over there. I can't go to the Mexican party because, no, I want to do it. So, you get opened up and you want to include people into your lifestyle, or, include them. I don't know. That's how I was brought up. And that's what made it feel very weird when I moved to Colorado. And I saw racism for the first time. People are like, oh my God, the blacks. And you're like, wait, my homie? What are you talking about? Yeah. He's really good at fucking playing fucking guitar or something. No, we play music with him every night. And like, he's the one who buys the beer. What are you talking about? Like, he's not the one asking for us for everything, or stealing stuff in the middle of the night, or whatever you all think is going to happen. It's not happening, bro. Like, it's so dumb. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit more of this. I have to use the restroom, and then I will be right back.
Knew one true thing about you, Alex, among all these lies, what would it be?
That was going to be my last question.
I mean, look, I'm a real person. I've got a lot of information. Sometimes I'm a little bit obnoxious because I'm trying to get through it all, like here today. And I really appreciate Stephen and the crew being so gracious, so I can have a place to tell the truth. And I appreciate your courage, because you do get attacked for having me on. And just that this is our rights being taken. This is a Hollywood production. I'm not saying Sandy Hook didn't have it. I'm saying the production of what I supposedly did and how big it became, and this huge event. I'm not the Sandy Hook guy. I'm the guy that wrote the #1 best-selling book in the world, The Great Reset and the War for the World. That's why the globalists hate me, is because I'm exposing their corporate worldwide tyranny. I'm exposing groups like PayPal that are back, by the way, saying, if we don't like what you say, we're going to fine you $2,500. I'm opposing their authoritarianism. I'm a populist. I'm a champion of the people. And folks can actually hear the real Alex Jones at Infowars.com, Infowars.com/show, or band.video. Go see the real live show. Go see the archives. Go see the guests. Go find out what I'm actually saying, instead of little bitty twisted edited excerpts that the corporate media puts out. And understand, the globalists see Infowars is the flag they want to capture. They're more obsessed with it than anything else out there right now, because when the globalists tune in, they get scared, because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the mechanics of the New World Order.
Final question, and we're going to go to Mug Club and take some more chats.
Freaking idiot.
It's all about the New World Order, right? I mean, because how many years have they been talking about the fucking New World Order fucking taking over, and how many years they say the swamp is there and they're going to take it over and they're going to do this and that and this is supposed to happen. It's been fucking a gazillion years, homie. Why the fuck haven't you done it yet, you fucking twats? See, the Bay Area is fucking amazing, dude. Going to the Bay Area to do events was fucking so awesome. So many open people were willing to like just be chill and hang out with you. And the only thing was I saw a bunch of people shooting up heroin in alleyways, but that was in the early 2000s. It may not be like that that was the only weird thing. Just like when I went to Amsterdam, I saw a bunch of needles laying in the gutters and stuff, and I know they've cleaned it up since, so don't think that that's what it is anymore there. But you know, it was very fun to go put on one of the first anime conventions in San Francisco in 2000 I want to say 2004 or something like that was the first anime convention that was put on there, and I was a part of it, fortunately. Anyways,
Slim
let's go.
Furry. Oh.
Yeah.
What's the next step? What are you doing here next, Alex? What's the game plan?
Well, that's a really great question. My biggest enemy is myself. I am absolutely exhausted. I'm burnt out. I drink too much. I haven't smoked in 14 years under the stress. I took up
He
smoking
drinks
again.
too much. He said it. He said it.
Going out and watching comedy and hanging out with Joe Rogan. There's a lot of cigarette smoking going on.
Yeah, I don't think that's cigarettes.
No, I've done a little bit of the marijuana smoke too, but I don't smoke a lot of it.
At least he's admitting this shit.
Usually I'm at a comedy club or go see a movie. Every time I hang out with Joe, we smoke some pot. But so sometimes I guess twice a week. But I haven't hung out with Joe that much lately. I've been too busy. But there's some days we've gone out like twice a week and get stoned. But a little bit of fun stuff there. But
of course,
long story short,
I need to take your game plan, Alex. That's your hobbies.
Anyways, it's a little bit of a name drop to all the.
What, Vila?
So I think I'm going to need to fuck off to bed. I'm like nearly falling asleep.
Yeah, I hear
If
you.
I'm able to fall asleep to that fucking voice, I must.
No, definitely. Take off. We'll see you later.
Thanks for having us on, darlings. Have a good rest of the stream, everyone. Night, night.
Yeah. We're almost done. We're almost done with this.
Yeah. I would stay,
Night.
but no.
Yeah, no. Go. Skits and I will finish them off on their faces. I mean,
you're stronger man than me.
Yes, barely. Anyways, by 13, Ox had left and was taken by a gypsy family on a carnival and worked as a carny for 30 years. I don't want to say lucky, but like I'm almost jealous because I always wanted to run away with the circus. But I am in an art family where we make art, and like I have been an artist my whole entire life and been an entertainer most of my life. So I just wish I would have like toured more, but that's what we're trying to do in the next like 2 years, Queen and I, if things can be situated. And I just got my schedule, but the beginning of November, I will be touring, I think Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas for 9 days. I think we have 4 or 5 gigs that we're going to be doing around there. So we have 2 days of driving and then doing a gig and driving a little bit and doing a little bit and then driving a little bit and driving a little bit to get back home. I think we have more gigs in between to get back home as we did so that we didn't have to drive as much getting back home, because that's the hard part. The first day, I'll drive 2 days straight. I don't give a flying fuck. And then I'll do gigs every single day after that. But to do multiple gigs and then drive home 2 days straight after doing multiple gigs is hardcore as shit. I had to do that the other time, the last time we did a tour. We did like a 1 day drive, did a gig, and then drove. And then on the way back, I had to drive 2 days straight to get us back here, to get her back to her job. So I literally, after shoving crap in and out of my body for multiple days straight, had to drive for 2 days straight to get us back. So I said, can we not do that this time? Can we just like do it easy coming home? And she said, yeah. And so that's what we're going to do. So I will have all that posted in the near future about that. And then Tuesday, I'll be in Denver doing a show, so I won't have a live stream. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be somewhere. And then the next week, I'll be pretty much almost busy for Halloween week. And then I will be gone probably for 9 days. So this last week, the last couple of days or next couple of days, you'll see me, and then you may not see me for a hot minute because I will be booked trying to make money to help Queen and I get through getting her a new place and things matching up and me getting there and other fun things and stuff and things and stuff. So I will be working my ass off in the next couple of weeks. So anyways, let's blow on just a little bit more.
Trendy liberals that think they're trendy and think they're cool and love the police state, hate free
And it has
speech.
nothing
I'm the
to do
real
with
rebel.
liberals.
InfoWars is the vanguard. So is Steven Crowder. We are the rebels. We are the outlaws. We are
No, you're not. You guys
1776.
are a bunch of
We are
bitches.
the counterculture, not them. And they can't stand that. And so that's what I want people to know.
Fuck you
We are the
all. You're a bunch
counterculture.
of
Steven
bitches.
Crowder is the counterculture. The listeners and viewers of these shows that support independent media are the future of not just America, but the world. And people can find out what all the stinks
you
about
are the
at InfoWars.com.
ruin.
So it sounds to me like what you're saying. Your next step
Patreon,
is,
I don't have one of
Alex,
those
you know, I have a
yet.
lot of love for
I
you,
do
but some
have
of
a
this stuff is
Patreon,
getting
but I
into
don't
the
have
question.
stuff
I
on
think
it.
you're right. Your
Here's
next step is you need to get
Soon
some,
we'll
you need to get
be
some
doing
rest.
a
Is what you're saying,
Patreon.
right? Your game plan is some rest.
And if I can remember to set it up, if I did one, I may be able to show people videos of before shows and during and after that I don't post in other places. So a Patreon may be coming up soon because we will be needing to help facilitate making just a little bit more money if I move before I can get gigs in the next place. And or what I was getting at right quick is once things get situated after this tour, we want to do a Tijuana to Canada tour on the West Coast. So we want to go from Tijuana, Mexico to San Diego to Orange County, Pomona, Oceanside. Sorry, that's way down there. And then up and then to other things and then go to Canada eventually. And then we will come back. And if we don't do a Midwest tour, we'll probably do, sorry. We're going to do an East Coast tour before that. And then we're going to try to do a European tour. So we're trying to tour the world's is if we can in the next 2 years. So we're getting that figured out in the near future. So did somebody send me more money? Is that what I saw? Never mind. Okay. Let's keep going.
Rest, recoup, and come back.
I'm more ADHD when I'm totally exhausted. So I've done a lot of interviews and I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning and I apologize. My brain's gone right now. So yes, I realize this
you
is
don't
what's
have
coming
a
next.
brain.
I realize they want to take me out of the game. And I realize that I'm never going to quit now because they want to silence me because this is a battle of wills. I know it's the right thing to do. But I also understand that if I take myself out of the game by being fried or burnt out, they win. So I am going to, in the next few months, do something I never do. I'm going to take off a week a month starting at the end of this month, November and December. I may take off 2 weeks in December. I want my listeners to understand why I've got to do it because I've got to rest. I've got to stop drinking. I've got to stop smoking. I got to go to church to recharge my batteries. I've got to take, my daughter camping.
Why
I've
are
got
you telling us
go
this right now?
Camping and shooting with my
You
son
don't
and
need
my
to
other
be telling
daughters.
us
And so if you're
any
asking
of
what's happening, I'm
this.
going to recharge my batteries, get back to family, get back to God, and come back in 2023 harder than ever.
You know what?
I love how he just talks about all the things that I'll be doing in the near future, and he talks about all the things he won't be doing in the future.
Sounds like a plan because a lot of people know this has been a year and a half for me since the surgery. There have been some complications that people will never fully know about, and you need to treat yourself as
Who
someone you want
cares,
to take
you
care
little
of. But you know
bitch?
what? You just mentioned something. Hey,
is he wearing a
Motherfucker,
holster?
you sit at a desk all fucking day long and you fucking cry about shit and fucking make money doing nothing. And you had stomach surgery fucking a year and a half ago and you had complications. Fuck you, bitch. Motherfucker, all of us have gone through surgeries. All of us have fucking done through shit. We've all gone through fucking hardcore shit. You're gonna cry about fucking stomach surgery while you're a fucking news host? Fuck you, you twat.
When's Rogan gonna have you on his show? Why aren't you doing his show today?
I don't want to be mean to Joe.
They don't like each other.
Joe
They don't
told me,
like each other.
last time I was on the show was 2 years ago, and it was one of the biggest shows he ever did with, who was on the show with me? It was a great comedian, really funny. Yeah, Tim Dillon. And Joe's like, yeah, we have you on a couple months. And then, it's pretty obvious what's going on. There's a little too much heat for Joe to have me on, which is fine.
If Joe Rogan doesn't fucking like you anymore, you're fucked.
Courage about the vaccines. He's had courage about censorship. He's been criticizing the power structure, but he's not as hardcore as Steven Crowder, and I'll just say it. But at least he overall defends free speech, and I just don't think Joe can handle it. We were out at dinner about a month ago, last time I hung out with him, and it's his pet peeve not to bring it up. And I just said, man, it really helped me with this upcoming court case because the whole media is against me. If I could get on there and explain things. And he just said, Alex,
exactly,
too much craziness going on. Let's just get through this. We'll talk about it later. So I'm not really worried about it. Obviously, I'm the big interview he'd want. He even said,
we'll talk about it later. He said,
it's a big deal to have you on, but I'm not worried about it. It's really a question for Joe. Because
I know. I'm just asking because you talk about how you're hanging out with him, and not only if not him, he has a bunch of friends who could have you on. He has a whole podcast network. I don't really have that. You've been to our studio. It's really just me. I'd love to grow it eventually with other people and be able to throw more support behind folks. But right now, it's me behind the desk.
On the courage scale, Steven Crowder's a 10, Alex Jones is a 10, and Joe Rogan's an 8. And I'll take an 8 all day over our enemies that are at 0.
Of course.
And so I'm nothing but thankful to Joe for all the heat he's taken having me on.
Alex Jones is a 10.
And so I totally understand it. And you know what? I don't want to give out any inside baseball here, but I'm just going to leave it at this. I'll tell you off air if you want, but it's private.
Full screen. You see that?
The very same people trying to silence me. I'm not going to get into it.
Because Steven Crowder doesn't want to be on screen while he says
I know.
this.
Yeah, I know that's happened with him. And
that's why they do
I'm
that.
I'm on that list as well. So I know we all deal with it. And
he says fucked up shit.
That's why I say for people out there who are watching, if you're listening right now, by the way, on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the share button,
that's why
leave a comment below because you won't find it in the algorithm. And I do ask that you join up at Mug Club. I do ask that you go head over if you want to.
This is an information.
I'm done. I'm pretty much done with this. But what I want to do really quick is that I want to talk about being in the industry of doing content. Once again, I'm not trying to fluff my own feathers. I'm trying to reiterate what I've been through in my life to give it that I know knowledge about certain subjects. One of the things flat earthers like to do is they like to take things out of context for a certain a field, right? So in science, when you call something a theory, that means it is an actual proven thing. When you're talking about philosophy, a theory is something that's not proven that you pull out of your ass and you just like string together to make something that turns into it, right? When you're in the mechanical industry and you talk about a certain type of screw or something like that, right? Then you're going to say it this way, right? When you're talking about measurements in a certain field, you may say it one way. And when you're in the bar industry, you're going to say it a certain other way, or the same word is going to mean something completely different, right? I've worked in enough industries that I have to like realize when I'm here, I talk about this word in this way. When I go to this job, I have to talk about a word in this way. It's all about relevance to the, I want to say dictionary words of it, but it's the lingo. There we go.
Yeah.
The fucking lingo of whatever field you're in, right?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is
use
like
terms like jiggers to a scientist. They're like, what the fuck's a jigger? But to a bartender, like that makes perfect sense.
You're like, oh yeah, which one? The half or the full? Which side are we using? Yeah. Same with just like certain measurements or certain like the word whole means a completely different thing when you're talking to a prostitute and you're talking to a golfer. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, whoever gave me more money, which is going to go to Queen. Cheers, bro. Salute. Bad vodka.
Flavored water.
That's fine. But that's the whole difference that these people like try to use as scapegoats, loopholes, or ways to not explain certain things because they don't understand phrases or different words and stuff like that. And it's insane that somebody like me can understand that and other people don't. So I would definitely like to leave this by doing this. Give me a second to find it. We have to end it this way. There's no other way to end this. Hold on. Okay, we're almost there. Thank you very much, Skits. Thank you very much, everybody else who was here earlier and who watches in the future. Everybody who's watching this now and had stayed until the end. Thank you all very much. The reason why I can keep doing these things, or the reason why I feel like I should do these things, is because you all are here in the side chat, here as our guests, and the people who interact with us, comment later, like the streams, all of that fun stuff, is because you are here. Otherwise, I'm just yelling at myself into a computer monitor. So thank you all for being here. And for all the people who watch in the future, because we get sometimes 100 views on these things, and sometimes I'm amazed that we get over 100 on some of these. And yes, the first couple of days maybe we only get 40 or 80, but eventually I go back and I look at the stats, and I'm only getting all thumbs ups, and I'm getting a crap ton of people watching. So that means you all like what we do, even though we don't get 100 people in here to watch it once, which I wish we could do, just so it would be more fun for all of us, and it would be more interactive. But I understand I'm a nobody. So thank you all very much, and we will leave you with this lovely song.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, freaking frogs, man. It's not funny. I'm going to say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, freaking frogs. I don't like a frog. Freaking frogs! Frogs! Freaking frog crap! Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny! I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs! Place boy.